So we will kick off this session with you all kind of at the gate to the west side of this little mercenaries hamlet.
Cheeks, do we get the sense that this is the place that we were originally intended to go?
Yeah, looking back at the path you're kind of walking in on, it does seem to link up with the other side of the broken bridge. And you definitely would have had to come through here to get to the main capital of the city.
I guess my question is our intention was to eventually, like, where was our end destination? It was the main city, correct? Or no?
Yeah, the strange blue orb is still kind of looming in the distance. It is behind kind of a mountain at this point that you know you'll have to kind of pass through to get there. But those of you who are from the area, and even probably not, it is known that the Kingdom here built a huge pathway through a mountain just to make it easier for them to get from their, like, very secluded area out to this part. But as of right now, this would have been your first stop in your carriage if you had made it across the bridge.
Perhaps it would be best if we were to go and find a place to rest for the time being before we continue our journey.
I think that's a good idea. I don't know about any of you guys, but I'm kind of getting hungry.
Yeah, let's see if we can get something to eat. Sounds like a lovely idea.
Do you see any big inn signs? Any?
Walking, or like even just standing out here, you can see that there's two kind of mercenary-esque guards parallel to the opening of this palisade wall. They look completely ill at tension, kind of just sitting there with their spears kind of just stabbed into the ground. As you kind of approach, they like look over, grabbing their weapons, but seeing that you're kind of a bigger group and not like lumbering undead or little dudes throwing rocks at them, they kind of ease up and just really don't address you as they just sit back and seem to just be glum on themselves.
I'll be this first one.
Continue forward, yeah.
You do see to your north seems to be a makeshift graveyard, and a further path leading kind of up out of the trees, which there seems to be a house kind of alone up on the hill to the north. Seems
past the graveyard?
Yeah, seems up past the graveyard. And of course, just back the way you came is the ravine. Upon entering, you do see there are multiple fires kind of lit around this place to keep it well lit. It is like kind of early-ish morning right now. The fog doesn't really get into this area like it is outside. All the trees are kind of shrouded with the fog, but it kind of just like wisps over the top of this palisade wall. Immediately on your right as you enter, there seems to be a large stockpile of just random inventory, some crates that you assume are full of stuff. But the only one who seems to sit there guarding it or overseeing it is some scribe-looking fellow. Adelaide, you of anyone would definitely recognize that this dude, under his like tan, torn cloak, cowl, it doesn't really reach the whole floor. He is definitely wearing a weather-worn uniform that you used to wear back at your academy when you were at the academy.
Oh, wow.
And he kind of gives you all a look as you walk in, and then seems to look at the empty seat kind of down south of him, this seat, in a bit of disappointment, like he was expecting someone. But it kind of just turns around and goes back to looking through some loose bits of paper. but there does seem to be a nice fire going, which is probably the first bit of warmth you felt since falling into the ravine and being in like the very probably warm from the amount of people sitting in it cart, and especially the Hellion, who probably put off a lot of heat. I'm just sitting
The
there.
Hellion who is on fire.
Yeah, the Hellion who is literally a fire.
What are the two buildings that are like to the north? Or like, are these just like houses that are in the area?
Yeah, it doesn't seem like any have a like sign out the front that says anything. There is someone who looks like a bit more of a well-worn guard in front of the bigger house, kind of just standing at attention, looking around, kind of watching you guys, but you can't really see from the shade of his visor. The house to your north, as you look in, just seems to be like completely empty, but the windows seem to be still preserved, as if there was some attempt to keep these houses not destroyed and turned to rubble.
Going.
Yeah.
I go up to one of the mercenaries that are like close to the gate. I'm gonna wave at him and just kind of get closer and say like, does this place have a name?
He's kind of sitting there. He's got his like left glove on his lap, and he's kind of just biting at his thumbnail this entire time as you're all walking in.
Mm-hmm.
And he kind of looks around and gives like a very disheartened shrug. Well, the captain's been calling it the Mercenary's Hamlet, but it's only got 4 houses, not really a hamlet.
Well, I mean, at least it's a pretty name. Have you seen anybody else besides us come through here today?
Today, no. It's been a while since anyone's been sent in. The last party was with him. He gestures over to the person kind of sitting at the broken statue in the middle of this ground. They've got like a big sword sitting next to them, and they're kind of sitting there just as disheveled as anyone else seems in this area. He seems to be holding something pretty large and golden in his hands, kind of just staring at it and like polishing it almost.
Okay. I'll go ahead and meet up with Flotsam and Silas at the campfire.
I want to talk to the individual who's counting supplies, if that's possible.
Yeah, he seems to keep like looking over his shoulder as everyone amasses at the fire next to him.
Excuse me.
He looks over. He looks pretty tired, but still, he seems to have a bit more hope in his eyes. He's got like that kind of shine still of someone who has a little bit of hope. He kind of gets up, kind of looking at you a bit odd, like he's kind of fascinated with your being like you are a robot, so he's...
Do not be alarmed. I am a robot.
I know this must be shocking for you to hear.
I am no more or less dangerous than any other humanoid.
He kind of has like a look as if he was gonna say something, but that like answered his question anyway, so he just nods.
I have a question about this town. Is there a place that we could get provisions or perhaps stay the night should that become necessary?
Oh. Well, not that you'd really need any, being what you are, but that place across there, past the horseman. He kind of gestures to this house. There's a bunch of beds set up in there for passerbys and the like. This area, he kind of gestures around him. This is the stockpile me and a friend were kind of working on but he's a bit missing. Not sure where he is right now.
Oh, where did he go?
He kind of just thumbs off over at that entrance to your east. He went out that way looking for more provisions, but it's been a hot minute.
He hasn't come back.
No, not yet.
Does he usually take this long?
He kind of like rolls his shoulders a little. Sometimes, but with what's out there, I'm, you never know when the day is that he's not gonna come back.
That's a morbid thought.
What's his name?
He taps his chin a few times as the DM pulls up the character sheet. His name is Grey Cat. He's as his name might suggest, he's actually one of your kin. Probably he's a Grey Tabaxi. Wears a sort of purple robe.
Understood. I'm going to go and see about the possibility of getting some sort of like stay. Is there a person who's like inside that building, or is it like just like anyone who wants to just sleep in the building can sleep in the building?
Yeah, as you open it, it looks like fairly bare bones. There is like one or two properly made beds, maybe, but the rest are kind of just like mattresses set up in a somewhat ease of access way where you won't step on anyone walking through this place.
But there's no one inside. It's just like a little like place for beds.
Yeah,
and
there's
stuff.
absolutely no one in there right now.
I'm gonna walk back. I
I'm
have an
gonna-
update.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead if you want to.
Oh, I was just going to continue talking with the person right here. And, what's your name? Sorry for not introducing ourselves properly.
He nods and kind of gives a little shrug. It's fine. Not many people here really get on first name basis. It's a glum place. Not many people do come back, you know. But my name's Lawrence. I'm a scholar.
I'll walk around the fire and extend a hand out and just go, Silas, it's a pleasure to meet you.
You too. He kind of dusts his hand off really quickly and then shakes your hand.
I'll turn to the rest of the party and go, well, why don't we settle in? We had a bit of a bumpy start.
About settling in, that was what I wish to update the rest of you about. The place that our scholarly friend has pointed us to is a terrific place to get ambushed or to have our throats slit in the middle of the night.
Oh,
That was an attempt at humor. I was being hyperbolic, but that is to say that it is very bare bones as far as accommodations go.
Right.
okay. I'll trust you.
That bodes confidence.
Kind of look between Flotsam and our buddy here, and say, "What about food?"
Oh, I can go find us some food if we need.
Look quizzically at.
Yeah, I've gotten used to looking for food. I can, if there's food out here, I'll find it.
Yeah, I can help too.
I do not require food.
But do you like food?
I gesticulating to my where I have no mouth, I have no mouth, so I cannot eat. I have not the means or the inclination towards food, although I have heard good things.
Good reviews on food.
People seem to rant and rave about food, so yes. But I understand that it is necessary not just for the soul, as it were, but to sustain yourself. So if it is for the good of the group, I could assist.
Okay. I mean, I can bring you back something if you want.
Are you referring to me?
Yes. You, Flotsam.
I do not. You do not have to bring me back anything. I am incapable of consumption.
Okay. I'm already thinking of what I can bring him.
Rose kind of leans around Silas, says, like, technically they perform some sort of a photosynthesis with their natural living wood they're made out of. I sell rations, if you need any.
I'm gonna turn at the mention of that. Is that very interested, very intrigued by that comment. Can I make like an insight check to see if that was like a real genuine fact that he was saying?
Yeah. You can definitely try an insight on him.
Okay, hold on. I don't remember.
First roll of it, yeah. Oh,
Hey!
damn.
19 plus 2.
Yeah, you have no reason to suspect why he would lie about how you're made up, and he definitely does look the stewardess type.
Might I ask how you know that information?
He kind of flinches a little as you like march over towards him.
Just like red eyes, just piercing, and unmoving.
Oh, well, I'm a studier. I read a lot. I am. There's many books at the academy that I have read.
And where is this academy, and have you any of these books on that particular subject?
Maybe. He kind of goes over to his table. Roll me a luck. For him.
Oh, my -2.
Yeah, see how lucky you are for him.
10.
10?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you'd have to be pretty lucky to find something. He shakes his head.
Understood.
But if you ever want to, the academy's Waxwelts. It's far from here, but it's a good academy.
Can you say the name? Can you like spell the name of that?
Yeah,
place?
it's probably Waxwelts.
I spelled it right.
Yeah. Congratulations, damn.
Do you know if anything's happened to it? Adelaide finally speaks up and kind of like turns towards Lawrence at the mention of her old school.
Hmm? Oh,
Do you know if anything has happened to Waxwelts?
not for a while. I kinda... This place is my senior study. I'm opted to report on this place for a prestigious place among the scholars, but kind of grimaces looking around. Might have bit off for more than I can chew. But no, I've had no reports of the academy since I came into this place.
Well, that's good to hear, I suppose. Sorry about you being trapped in a dangerous place for your senior thesis.
If I could go back in time and tell my younger self something, it would be to not do this. But you know, knowledge is power, apparently.
That bad around here?
Pardon?
It's that bad around here?
It's bid for different people. I am just a scholar.
Right. Well, I say we all try to get moved in, why don't we? At least for tonight.
Yeah, and we'll get some of the rations that are here, and we can bunker in.
Mm-hmm.
You did say it was morning, is that right?
Yeah, you're kind of woken up in the ravine pretty early in the day. So it is like mid-ish day right now, but you are still tired, so like there is no harm in taking long rests when you can.
Okay.
I mean, we could also just go in, claim a spot, and then walk around here and see what else there is before we head out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like your long rest could be considered getting to know the place as well.
Okay. I want to... I don't know. I guess I will go, because I want to take a long rest, so I guess I'll go into the house.
Yeah, you have like the centuries rest, right? You have like 4 hours of just sitting there staring at everything.
Just staring at the wall.
Really counting all the grains in the wooden
Yeah, I have
wall.
to spend at least 6 hours in an inactive, motionless state where I appear inert. And I can hear and see as normal.
It's just gonna count how many times we do weird things in our sleep.
Okay.
I'll-
Yeah, we can consider everyone just taking a long rest for the moment.
Yeah.
Everyone can rejuice. You activate in, and you all Next morning, everyone's happy.
Doom, 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 doom.
Yeah. One play in.sfx.
Sweet.
Lawrence does tell someone at some point that he will act as a storage house if needed. The area here is well organized and well tallied, so anything you kind of give him, he'll kind of look after if you don't want to carry it.
Right.
This place acts as your stash as well.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I'm going to come over here and just like by this old house and just start tuning my the fiddle and just playing a little bit of music while I wait for everyone to wake up.
Yeah. Roll a performance. See how well you fiddle.
Oh, okay.
Fiddle your fiddle.
Ooh. It actually kind of reverberates quite nicely in this area. Somehow, like it's from the silence and just how kind of cold it is to everyone else. I suppose you don't really give a shit. It's kind of a very nice break to the silence. Eventually, some people do actually start to like. So some of the guards kind of rounded the corner to like watch you play for a while everyone was resting.
Are people going to like come over like to see me play?
You feel like they're staying within earshot, but you are like a robot, so they don't really know if they want to get closer.
Are they within 60 feet of me?
Oh no.
Most definitely. And everyone in the house is as well. Who are sleeping.
While they are the 3 mercenaries who are listening to me, they need to make a wisdom saving throw. Or wisdom, I think it's
Oh no.
Oh no.
What are you doing, Flotsam?
He's going to kill
I'm
them,
No, it is a wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
or they
Um,
die.
Against a
Fate kill mode.
DC, I believe it's a DC 13.
DC 13. So the captain seems to make it. He meets it.
Everyone who doesn't meet it is charmed. I'm using enthralling performance.
Yeah.
And I can pick 3 people because that's my charisma modifier.
right,
Everyone who
wonderful.
fails idolizes me, speaks glowingly of me to anyone they talk to, and hinders anyone that oppose me.
All right.
The effect ends after 1 hour, or if they take damage, or if I attack them, or if they witness me attacking or damaging their allies.
All right. Yeah. One of these guards seem really into it, man. They're like tapping their feet.
You got some fanboys.
Yeah. He leans over to the other one. He's like, "This is a damn nice change."
Dude, ask him to join us.
Get a
Say
free
you're looking for a
mercenary.
man.
An hour.
Which mercenary did I get?
Are these 2 different anyway? Nope, they're the same dude. The closest one.
This one. The mercenary. Okay.
Yeah, the captain seems to have eluded you.
After this, and if the Hellion were here, the Hellion would know what I had been doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to go up and ask, "Thank you for listening to my music. Is there any way in which you could help us in our journey?"
He rubs his chin a little. The others seem to back off and kind of separate a little as you approach him. Well, I don't know about helping you in your journey, but there's a blacksmith down the road if you need any repairs. There's a storage house if you need it. Sleeps in there. Roll a persuasion to see how off duty you might be able to get this dude.
Just normal
Yeah.
persuasion.
Ooh. Okay, he would be charmed, so he would have advantage. Never mind. Yeah. Give it another.
I'll just roll again.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Much better.
Damn. Yeah, he's 100% a fanboy, man. He's like, bridge should be back there if you want to get the hell out of here, but there's strange stuff in the ravine. I wouldn't go down there. It's kind of shitty. Out across the bridge, we pull it up at night, but across the little waterway there's a bunch of undead. I wouldn't suggest going that way unless you want to beat up a bunch, but you need anything, buddy, you tell me. In the next hour.
No, that will be all. That'll be it. Thank you.
He gives a quick soldier salute as he turns around into the horse and then shakes it off a little, walking around it.
I'm gonna go up to Lawrence, and I'm gonna ask him, has your buddy Gray Cat gotten back yet?
He again looks kind of at the empty chair, kind of next to a large crossbow sitting on one of the crates, and shakes his head.
Well, I think we're probably going to be heading out that way, so if we see him, we'll let him know to come back here.
He gives a little smile and nods. Thank you. I would go out myself, but I don't want to.
Yeah, makes sense.
Ain't that the mood for like a squishy academic?
I found out that there is a blacksmith here in town, over just a little bit yonder down in that direction. Is there anyone who requires repairs, or is it perhaps time that we should head out.
Well, there is someone here I
Uh-huh.
wanted to talk to, who isn't the blacksmith.
Oh.
Since it's morning, has that weird guy by the broken statue come back yet to, like, gently hold his golden object? Or
Been there all night.
Yeah.
He never left.
Yeah, he didn't really ever seem to actually leave. Like, he was there when you went to bed, he's still there when you wake up.
yeah,
part
that's
of this-
weird. I want to talk to him.
He looks, as just a very easy glance, you can tell that he is a very crestfallen paladin.
Hmm.
I guess I can show two players him.
Well, let's find out why.
He looks elven in nature, half elven perhaps, or just a very strong jawboned elf. But you walk up, he doesn't really do much to acknowledge your presence, other than you got really high perception, so you do see he kind of just like watches your feet as you walk over, as he's kind of already looking down at the ground.
Oh, that's weird. Well met, I suppose. And I kind of give him a little wave.
He very slowly kind of cocks his head up to look at you. He's got kind of like obviously pretty dark bags under his eyes from probably not sleeping since you haven't seen him move from this spot. And he kind of just raises an eyebrow at you.
Adelaide kind of like waits for a moment to see if he's going to say anything, and then continues on anyway. I mostly just wanted to introduce myself. I figured I should meet as many people who are still alive here as possible.
He kind of does a very slow nod that is kind of just leading him to look back down at the ground. And he kind of just mutters over at you. Did you come in on a cart? He kind of like looks
yes.
around, expecting to see one, and is unsure why there isn't one.
Well, we initially came in on a cart. We were going over a bridge, and then the bridge collapsed. Oh no, we don't have a cart anymore.
You see his like ears kind of twitch as you like mention the bridge collapsing, and he kind of like looks back up at you a bit more interested in your presence now. What do you mean the bridge collapsed?
Well, I mean, there was a hole in the bridge. It caught the wheel of our carriage and knocked the whole thing over, and we fell into a ravine.
He kind of brings his like hand up to like slightly kind of bite at his knuckle. Like, so there's no cart and the bridge is broken.
That is what I'm saying, yes.
Well, I guess that makes leaving harder. Kind of like leans back against the broken base of the statue. You're the new people, right? You've been sent by the kingdom to cleanse this land, to fix it, to do whatever.
Yes, that about sums it up. Were you one of them?
He nods slowly, kind of looking back down at the large, what you could assume, roll a religion, actually.
Okay. No.
A 7. You are not sure who this holy symbol might refer to. You can definitely tell as a paladin, and like this object would be of some religious purpose. But it's simply in the shape of a golden sun. There's a lot of gods who kind of match that, but you're not sure. Usually good ones, at least.
Mhm.
And you can see that his kind of cape is also pinned on with one of these symbols, but a much smaller one than the one he's kind of holding.
Did you come with other people?
He kind of gripping the thing he's holding a bit harder, he just slowly nods.
Adelaide is kind of disregarding this man's potential emotional trauma, just to make it clear. And they're not surround anymore.
He kind of tucks the holy symbol into his cloak and stands up, probably for the first time in a while, kind of looking back out towards the bridge, rubbing the back of his neck. No, they're not. They're not around anymore.
This place is that dangerous, huh? I don't think anyone's ever come back alive.
If they have, they're branded criminals by the kingdoms. But at this point, I wanted to get out of here, but the bridge is broken, then I guess I'm just stuck here.
My condolences, then.
Just
I suppose this is the safest place to be if you want to stay alive, but can't get back over. So good on you for being alive.
He kind of shoots you a look that you're not really sure the intent of, but he kind of nods.
I'm very mean to this man.
He kind of just like very slowly dragging his feet stumbles past you to go join Lawrence at the table.
I'm over there checking out the rations.
Yeah, it seems like he opens one of the crates and it just seems to be like package after package of just like military grade, probably gross ration.
I look over to Silas and I say like, "Hey, do you think we can do anything with these with that cookbook of yours?"
Let's take a look. I'll walk on over too. Huh. I mean, it's a bit subpar on the resource goods. Gently, like, nudging one of them. Just kind of letting it, like, flop.
Yeah. It's very unimpressive.
I mean, if we gathered, like, maybe, like, some mild, like, spice shrubs or something like that while we're out, we can make it taste at least good.
Yeah, we can take some of these. Or we could also just catch our own food.
I was about to say, we might have better luck hunting.
Yeah.
As you're kind of mentioning this, Lawrence does kind of like peek from behind Comet again, always having to peek around people. It's like, I'd be careful harvesting from the lands. Out here it's kind of fine, but the further inland you get, things tend to get a little tainted. Just be careful of what you pick.
Does that apply to animals as well?
Yeah, he nods.
Oh.
And
then maybe we
especially
should grab.
up north, I wouldn't go hunting any animals to the forests to the north of us.
Do you know what happened
Why
there?
is that?
Yeah.
There's a guy that lives up there. He takes care of them. Probably wouldn't appreciate.
Oh, so they're protected, not so much that they're dangerous.
Yeah, they're harmless, but that a person protecting them's a little weird. I wouldn't risk angering them.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
So I guess for now we can just try to do our best with what we have.
Yeah. Guess we can see what's around. See if we can make something a little bit better than looking back towards the rations. Gray mush.
Alright. Well, there's 6 of us. So I guess we can pack up on some of this. And I'll start like grabbing some, put it in my bag. I don't know if they come wrapped or anything, but
Fistfuls of mush.
Food and like maintaining hunger won't really be a thing, so these are purely just like flavor. Like they're just
literal.
yeah. They don't take any slots or anything. It is considered
I'll
free
grab
weight.
a couple. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Silas kind of peeks over towards the paladin that's sat over towards the table and just looks at them for a couple seconds and then comes back to comment. I mean, if you don't have any plans for now, I think we could go do some mild harvesting just to see what's around.
Yeah, I think I can do that. You want to join me?
Oh, yes, of course.
Sweet. All right. Let's go tell the others to wait for us, or maybe if they want to come, and then we can go just see what there is around here. I think Lord's probably said that it gets worse later on, but for now we can probably find something.
Find something good, maybe tasty even.
Yeah. So I think whenever we would have time, Comet and anybody else who wants to join is probably just going to go out and forage for whatever they can.
That's fair enough. If you both
Comet,
have proficiency in survival, one of you can roll advantage, or you can both just roll.
I'll give Comet advantage.
Okay. Also, I want to look for the closest thing I can to a sunflower.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right.
Sweet.
Damn. Yes, with a 21, you do kind of find some wild mushrooms that you could definitely use. And even if you so choose, there are some small critters you can collect to turn into food.
I could probably get them like that.
Yeah, get a couple of rabbits and stuff.
Yeah.
And you do find with a 21, you do find a small sunflower.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Used to be looking directly up at the sun as it's in the sky. It's kind of vibing.
I'll pick the sunflower. Make my way back to the camp.
You get like a little sense from your speaking to plant stuff that it kind of sighs.
Look, I know. I'm sorry, but I got a good. I got a good plan for you. I think you'll enjoy the new home. You'll be it.
It shrugs.
The flower shrugs. All right, I'll make my way back to camp.
Yeah, so Silas and Comet come back. Is anyone going to do anything while they're out hunting? Does anyone want to do anything? Rather,
I kind of want to look around and kind of surveil the area, I guess, to see if there's like anything. Just trying to get like a sense of where we would go from this. and if there's anything that we like missed in the town that may be important.
Yeah, so kind of walking around, you do have like the inn and the small makeshift cemetery, the storehouse, which you are kind of huddled around, a broken statue that the paladin seems to like to chill at, the house where the guard captain seems to be at attention at, looks to be the guardhouse that they're using, while the house at the back just seems to be an empty, unused house right now. Behind that seems to be a blacksmith who doesn't really seem to be doing anything. If you like peek around, you can see he's just kind of sitting at one of his crates, often getting up just to tend to the coals of his furnace, but like it doesn't look like he's making or doing anything. Eastward is the bridge that leads out of this place that has a couple of little rope pulleys that would seem to pull the bridge upwards at night. And kind of looking off in that direction, you do see the mountain between here and the main capital of this land, where should be your destination. There's a well that seems to be overgrown with vines, and a little guard tower just on top of a little hill looking out past the bridge. But that seems to be all that's kind of huddled up around here.
Okay, cool.
I would like to summon my familiar.
Ooh.
Cool.
What is your familiar if not your buddy?
If not my book.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can have a familiar and an awakened spellbook at the same time. I have find familiar.
What
We'll
is
build friends.
What is your familiar?
It is an owl.
An owl. Ooh, I'll have to make a little tokeny doodad for that at some point. What color and occupation is your owl?
Well, I'm personally fond of the spectacled owl.
Ooh.
Which is kind of like black and orange. It's got kind of a little black X over its face, making it look like spectacles.
Ooh.
Spectacled owl.
Smart boy.
Oh, there's familiars and summons in the art assets.
Oh.
Raven, dog, spider. I guess it's
Yes,
an
what
owl
is
with
this,
its
John?
wings out at all times.
So it's gliding.
Oh, wide boy! I guess I can tint him down a little so he's a little more.
Squash.
Yeah. So you light up some incense and kind of started doing a ritual, which seems to get the attention of at least Lawrence, who watches kind of excitedly as someone's finally casting a dang spell around here. And
I did a class ability. Does that not count?
no, it has to be a spell slot. No, not even that. This is a ritual anyway. He wasn't in range for the
then I summoned my bird, my little magic bird.
Yeah, so kind of out from the waves of the incense, and as the magic kind of evaporates all the little things you had to set up for it, they kind of just appear out from the ether. And they kind of just sit there and then they cock their head at you.
And then I tell it to like kind of fly up and do a little survey of the land from a bird's eye view.
Yeah.
That is your familiar.
Yes, it
Adam.
is. Do you have one?
No. I was wondering about its purpose.
Well, it's usually to travel ahead, allow me to look through its eyes, perhaps gain a tactical advantage or warn me of danger.
Does it think? Does it have emotion and a will of its own?
Oh, it does. It is a sentient creature. But it is magical and under my control.
Has it purpose beyond its utility to yourself?
I would say not.
Understood.
Ooh, Flotsam hitting with the ethical ramifications of familiars.
I wish you could. I mean, Flotsam doesn't have facial expressions, so I mean, the word understood and simply just a blank, deep red-eyed, like mechanical stare is really the best that you can get from him.
And the worst.
And the worst, to be certain.
Though it looks like an owl, it technically is either a celestial, fae, or fiend. So
Yeah, I'll say it's a little fae.
a little fae buddy.
Little fae owl.
At that point, Silas and Comet do come back in, toting their spoils that they have found.
Who wants rabbit?
We got some meat. We got some berries. And I go up to Flotsam, and I say, also, I got this for you, and I give him the sunflower.
This is a flower. I've already explained to you that I cannot ingest this.
Right, but I thought it would be the next best thing, since I think someone said you use wood to... Sorry, there's a car coming. You use wood to photosynthesize, and a sunflower might kind of help you do that, maybe? That's what I was thinking.
Comet, you have misunderstood. I acquire energy from the world around me in a similar way that this sunflower would acquire sustenance from the sun, turning it into energy to use in the future. In that way, I am like the sunflower, but not in many others. Certainly, I should also say that having the sunflower provides no utility to me in terms of doing what I must, or I guess in other terms, passively do to acquire energy. Does that make sense to you?
Utility?
I take the flower. After all, Comet, I understand that gifts from one person to another are a means of conveying friendship. Although I also know that some people do this act in a sort of a way to get a favor or something in return. Which do you mean when you present me with this flower? Are you wishing to have some sort of favor in the future, or is this a conveyance of friendship?
Flotsam, I just brought this because I thought it would be cool for you. You don't need to do anything for me. I brought food for everyone, so I was trying to see maybe that would be helpful for you. But things don't always need a response to something given. You could also just give something to someone because you want to.
Flotsam kind of like cocks his head to the side like a confused puppy dog, but again, no facial expression. And then cocks it back, straight up. Understood. I'm gonna put the sunflower away.
Put it in your hat.
It's a sunflower, isn't it pretty big? I don't know if it'll fit in my hat. Is it?
It was a small sunflower.
Yeah, it was a little dude. Not like a massive
I'll put
one.
it in my hat. I'll put it in my hat if it'll fit there, if I can affix it.
Yeah. You find a way to kind of attach it in there somewhere. And Lawrence seems like completely just enthralled by watching a Warforged try to just comprehend the world around it.
After that interaction, Flotsam's gonna go over here and play some music to himself.
Sad robot music.
I guess now I'm gonna go ahead and put down all of our collected food near the fireplace and try to just make if Silas would help me, try to make something for everybody to consume before we like head out.
Do you have
Oh, yeah,
cook's
you can definitely trust
utensils?
I do. You can trust me with this part. Don't worry about it, big
Oh,
guy.
okay.
And I'll give him a pat on the chest and like take unequip all of my armor, just basically down to my farm boy duds, and put on the little apron that I have, and start pulling out some of my cookware. Go into town, tie up my hair into like a little bun at the back.
Oh yeah.
All right. Let's see here, and right, and begins making like a rabbit stew that's big enough to feed most of the people in the town that Silas has seen.
All right, I'll roll up. Cook's utensils check.
Right. So, what skill would that be?
What would Silas usually use when he cooks? Has he just cooked so much that he just knows how it works? Has he read a lot of cookbooks and uses intelligence? Has he eaten a lot? Constitution could probably work because that's to do with ingestion, I suppose.
Submission.
Yeah. Did you punch it? Did you strong arm it?
I'll do because it's like a rabbit stew. I guess I'll do like, let's just do Constitution for just testing all of these plant ingredients that he's brought in.
Yeah. Roll me a con check plus 2, so yeah, because you're proficient.
15.
15. Yeah, you make a like compared to military grade ration, this is like the best. Like this is gourmet to these people. Like just the smells alone, and then like the music kind of coming from Flotsam, like you feel like you've already brought a little bit of life back to this place just from cooking and being alive.
And once it's done, I'll just very loudly roar out, "Come and get it!" Start banging a pot.
Yeah, a few like ravens fly out from a nearby tree and get the hell out of here.
Oh shoot! Sorry.
I should say as well that like the music Flotsam is playing is just like it is actually like very sad. Flotsam mainly knows like very very sad music.
Oh no!
Flotsam, no.
a lot of like minor chords.
Somber dinner.
Actually worked really well with the backing track we're using right now.
Silas will take 2 bowls over to Lawrence and the paladin filled with soup and go, "You're involved too. Don't miss out."
Lawrence looks like he was just hoping to God that you would give him some. He was like, he was in it, he wasn't sure if he would, but he looks so happy when you put it down.
Don't wait for me to tell you to go. Dig in.
He does pretty quickly. The paladin still kind of like pokes at it a little before he starts to eat, but like he still definitely eats it.
Silas will just kind of like
less vigor.
put his hand on his shoulder just for a second, and just like give it a gentle squeeze, then go back to get more bowls, and he's gonna start passing out some to guards. Yeah,
you definitely gain +1 rep with the mercenaries. They all look pretty surprised and very thankful that they're not eating just bread and grey ooze.
And to finish it off, because the soup's probably running low, because we didn't get a whole bunch, instead of Silas taking his portion, he'll take his portion all the way over to this blacksmith up and alone in his corner, and just, excuse me, do you have a moment?
you wander over. He still seems to be doing nothing, just like dragging his kind of coal prong through the coals. But as you walk over and address him, he does kind of get up. He's a dwarf. He's like kind of short in stature, quite wide. Beard not as long as you've seen some dwarves, but he seems to keep it tidy. Yeah, very busy, very busy. Look at this place. I got nothing.
Well, maybe I could have some work for you in the future. But, here. And I'll put this soup down on this little table between us.
Your work for me. He like kind of takes like the whole bowl in one hand and just starts eating while kind of gesturing back at his stuff. I got no dang tools. You can't work without tools. He kind of takes like a huge sip. That's really freaking good. Holy moly.
Thank you. What happened to your tools?
They damn hoodwinked it, that's what.
Know who, or?
Yeah, you lend your tools to the frickin' miners for one day and then you never see him again. If you see a little gnome running around, kick his ass for me.
I'll definitely take note of that, sir.
He kind of raises the bowl to you and squints. Appreciate
one last question before I go. Which direction are the mines? I might be heading that way.
The mines? Well, yeah, they just follow the road east. You can't miss it. It's like the natural tunnels between this place and the next.
Alright. I'll keep an eye out. I'll just give him a thumbs up as I walk away.
He gives you a dwarven nod. It's like a whole upper chest nod, kind of.
Mm-hmm. Alright, and I'll join my companions now that everyone's had their dinner, and I'll just eat from like some of my leftover like jerky.
Yeah.
Oh, the poor man doesn't get his own food.
I'm gonna come back to the table, to the fire.
Yeah, to the gang.
Just lightly playing some music.
I'll pat my belly and just be like, all right, well, I think we're all good. We might want to start moving out if we want to keep going where we were supposed to end up.
Mm-hmm.
I concur.
Viridian will stand up and say, "Oh, I've been ready to go this whole time." And we'll just kind of go over to his horse and kind of start saddling up and getting ready to get on a move.
All right.
One kind of pipes up again once Viridian's gone. It's like, you're, where you heading? The Grey Cat tells me some stuff. Every time he comes back, I might, have some info about where you're headed.
Well, we were on a cart, so where does the cart usually go?
Well, the cart usually stops here, then turns its way back and gets the hell out of here. Us volunteers usually are meant to head through the mines and, well, get to the town, but yeah, Grey Cat tells me the passageway is a little infested with bugs.
Shudder a little bit.
The paladin kind of like speaking up over him. He's like, and it's caved in. You will need to find a way to move the rubble.
Are these big bugs?
Lawrence nods and he kind of like moves his hands out to like give you a size, like something like kind of football size. He kind of gives you like they're like the little smaller ones, but then there's like kind of reaches his arms quite far apart, almost the size of like one of the crates behind him. It's like, and then you got the big ones.
Oh.
Okay.
But I heard there's still a miner in town somewhere. He might be able to get you through the rubble, but he's down at the docks, I think, last I heard.
Oh, where are the docks?
That's down south. Rather than east.
And the mines are which way?
Just east.
East, okay.
Past the lumber mill.
I'll go ahead and look at everybody. And I'll say, like, well, it sounds like we might want to go south first, have a little conversation, and then maybe head out east. But what do you guys think?
Yeah, I think we need that miner to get through there. So
The
it
last
also might
time
be
that
nice to
we
have a
were,
guide.
the last time that we were in a sort of cave-like area without supervision, well, you nearly died, Comet. So perhaps this is a wise decision.
Right. Yeah. Thank you for keeping me safe, Blossom.
You're welcome.
So I'll go ahead and stand up, do a little back stretch, and then head out. Start heading out.
Oh, 1 second. Try to quickly put on chainmail armor again.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Put your armor back on.
You re-equip your chain armor.
Oh shit! And like reaches his hand down, and you see him pull out the apron from underneath the armor. Okay, all right, I'm ready to go. Not easy to put that on. Not easy.
Lots of jangling.
So I should send out some of the other people who are here because I forgot to. And the wrong button. And the grumpy blacksmith, who I didn't give a description.
He's grumpy and a blacksmith.
He is a grumpy blacksmith.
That's all you need to know.
Well, I guess he's not really a black. He doesn't have
I'm the
tools.
True.
There's
no
a grumpy
tools.
dwarf next to a forge.
It's just another angry dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's everyone in the Hamlet so far. Yeah. So, you guys are heading out across the bridge and are looking to head south. Let's move you all eastward and bring you into the forest. Make sure that's
On the way there, can I ask Adelaide a question?
Yeah.
I'll turn over to Adelaide and say, like, so Waxwell's was your school?
Yes, it was. I did study there for quite a while.
And you're not going there anymore?
No, I have other research to do, other things to look for. There simply wasn't anything there for me anymore.
So you decided to leave?
Yes.
Okay. And Lawrence left too? Or is he just... Did he...
I assume
Sorry.
he's still with the school, but he's doing research for it outside of the actual location. And he's made an egregious error in coming here and being unable to leave.
Well, I mean, we all came here.
But he's alone.
Hmm.
He doesn't have the tactical advantage.
Well, he is in Hamlet, and he said he had a friend. Maybe we can help him not be alone.
I suppose we can keep an eye out for Grey Cat. Was that their name?
Yeah. I mean, if one of us went missing, I think maybe we'd probably want someone to help us out. So why not do something good for someone else?
Well, I'll keep it on the back burner then.
Okay.
She kind of says that dismissively.
Comet fully thinks she is determined for this.
Yeah, like I'm so psyched to go help someone.
Yeah. Okay, that's all I wanted to ask.
And just like that, I'm nervous.
Yeah. You do think he is like he's a young adult as well, so he's definitely still in school. He's just has definitely made a big error in choosing this to be his place of study.
Yeah, he's probably thinking, why didn't I major in chemistry?
Yeah. Should have just went into Golomancy, dang it. Let's see if we can grab some different, more foresty ambience.
Some music.
Yeah. Or forest daytime? Is that a good one? Is that a... That's...
I mean, if we had to go into a forest, I'm glad it was daytime.
Mm-hmm.
Grab the uneasy
And these
forest.
are the South Forest, so we can hunt all we want.
Skip. Play. What will we get? Instantly replaced by battle music. For reasons of unknown.
Alrighty.
Grab that. So you all enter into the boreal forest, not forest. It's in the forest, innit?
The fairest.
Welcome to the forest.
Every kind of forest.
We got a birch forest over here. Immediately entering this place, it is a lot of closed, dense trees with a kind of little natural-made pathways between them. To your east, you can already see just a bunch of undead kind of lumbering around. Not really doing much. They're kind of just stationary, almost like you, Flotsam, when you're resting. They're kind of just
Take offense to
standing and staring at everything.
Kindred spirits.
Yeah.
Silas immediately takes out his warhammer and holds it very close to his chest.
I'm gonna draw my bow, by draw my bow, I mean the bow that goes over the violin. But also, prepare for music battle.
Which we need to make into an actual bow.
Yeah, you can make a bobo. A bobo. The anime. But you can also see
Leave it alone.
The pathway down to your south, a little opening in the trees, where you can faintly see some little dudes hanging in trees.
Oh shit, not again.
Yeah,
no.
the little dudes.
Not the little dudes.
Always
The
the
little
little
meat
dudes.
pucks.
The meat pucks.
Yeah.
I love that.
Viridian turns to Comet and says, "It was south, right? To the docks?"
Yeah, he did say south. If we want to avoid going straight south, I'm sure we can find a way around, but if you want to just go straight up or straight down, I should say, then that would probably be the fastest way.
Yeah, south looks significantly better than what's in front of us.
There is a rather large infestation of undead along your path over there.
Yeah, let's save that for later.
Maybe we should keep our voices down. I don't know if they'll hear us.
The forest is making a lot of sound as it is. There's like a lot of kind of just white noise sound, and this uneasy forest soundtrack's kind of blowing. But they definitely won't notice you until you kind of basically engage them.
So let's say someone were to make a lot of noise with, say, an instrument. Would they like suddenly decide to come and get us, or what are we thinking?
Yeah,
hypothetically,
if you did like thunder wave or something, that might alert a lot of the stuff in this place.
Okay, good to know.
But maybe only in like adjacent areas, because like it is very dense forestage around.
Gotcha.
Oh, that's way better.
Uh-huh.
So you feel like you might be a bit safer in the like little battle zones.
Okay.
Oh, dude, hell yeah! Let's get famous and go to. I'm gonna love these bots sometimes, man.
The ones that are like, "Hey, subscribe."
Yeah.
Before we go, I don't know if I can retcon this but before we head into this like kind of like this battle, as I would have, I guess, known that we were heading in, I would like to use my inspiring leader feat. It doesn't have to. Instead of 10 minutes inspiring my companions with like a speech, if I could do so through like song on our way down.
Yeah, you can definitely have like played something kind of inspiring as you were walking, and as Comet and Adelaide were having that conversation.
Okay. I'm going to do that, which means everyone can gain temporary hit points equal to 6.
6 temp health, everyone.
Hell yeah!
All right.
What does he play?
Should I play a song?
Give us a verse.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of. I have like a list of.
Break it down.
Yeah, break it down to me.
He's still in a mood. He's still in a mood, so it's gonna be like. Oh, that's not right chord. It's gonna be a sad song from before. Watch that old fire as it flickers and dies. That once blessed the household and lit up our lives. It shone for the friends and the clinking of glasses. I'll tend to the flame, you can worship the ashes.
Oh man, that was hell yeah.
Cool.
I feel like a whole 10 hit points, but I only.
All right, so you all get your 6 temp health, be it from the delicious stew or the inspiring leader. Probably a combination of the two. You feel better today. You definitely haven't fallen down a ravine. You're bringing the battle to them this time.
Heck yeah.
Which way are you collectively going to go?
Let's go south, please.
Yes, I think we kind of agreed south.
Alright, so you guys wander in southward. As stealthily or as unstealthily as you would like.
I'll try to be stealthy. I'll probably fail, but
Yeah, I say we make a move to be a little sneaky if we can.
At least attempt, you know? Like, you never know if you don't try.
Should we roll stealth? Or just say that we're being sneaky?
Yeah, roll stealth. Let's see how generally stealthy you guys all are.
That's a no for me.
Yeah, already just out the window. Oop,
Yeesh.
yep, that's
One of those, huh?
Yep.
I got it.
Well, Viridian got a 20, which is good.
Yeah, Viridian on top of the horse in front of everyone.
It's a quiet horse.
Yeah, they know what they're doing.
It's one of those horses that was bred to like not go up and down.
Yeah.
So it's just like dancing.
So walking into this little clearing through the little pathway, you do see that there are little scabs kind of just chilling out in the trees around this area, and there seems to be 3 clustered at a small little wall that separates this side from probably another area, and they're kind of just like messing with it and like trying to peek through and like just finagle with it. But as you all do kind of clank your way through the little pathway, some of the scabs do let out like little like rah!
Uh-oh.
More of just like a to alert their brothers that stuff is approaching, as like a few little rocks kind of like pelt the ground near you guys as a warning to things to come.
Oh no, the rocks.
Silas immediately picks up one of the rocks and like cocks his throwing arm.
There's a little
Not
fly in
looking
here.
at
pestering me. So what do you guys do upon walking in and being
Do that.
assailed by little pebbles?
I'm going to place my hand on Flotsam's back, and I'll say like, thanks for the music. Now, I want get ready for another song, and I'll go ahead and do Vigilant Blessing, which gives him advantage on any initiative rolls he makes.
Nice.
Ooh. Okay. Thank you. Are we just gonna? I guess I'll ask this in character. Is it best to engage these creatures, or should we move as quickly as possible?
I think we should just do it quick.
I get the feeling these guys aren't going to let us go quietly. If you got shields, bring them up. They're going to start throwing rocks at us.
Yeah.
We could all try running on 3.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we just. I mean, Viridian, you're at the helm. What do you think?
Kind of looking over, surveying. Viridian will say, well, there are nuisance everyone behind us. But there's no need to kill them all if we don't have to.
They do seem to be kind of making their way very, like, scarcely towards the left side. Like the ones here drop down from the tree, and these ones seem to kind of conjoin up with them, and they move as like a small little squad just left. all got a rock ready for anyone who approaches. They like very often will make like the throw gesture to like see if you flinch.
It'd be convenient in order to fight them, but I don't think they're going to give us a choice.
I mean, we could go around the easternmost part of this. It seems like they're keeping mostly to the west.
Well, I think they're already aware we're here, and this side has far fewer opponents, and the east side doesn't even know we're there. So we might as well engage these ones.
All right. How about we circle around to the side where they're not at, keep an eye contact with them, and as soon as if they make the first move, we reciprocate.
Oh no.
Speaking of first move, they are definitely going to start throwing rocks once they seem to have like positioned themselves comfortably in the trees.
They were planning.
Yeah.
We were planning and they were
You guys
planning.
they caught you monologuing.
Yeah, they caught me
You
monologuing.
sly dog, you got me monologuing.
one is going to kind of like make like a somewhat like teasing sound as they throw one right at Viridian, since they're the biggest and tallest. You are...
Oh, big mistake.
You are at their... Oh, it's going to be this one. You are at a disadvantage range for them, so he does have disadvantage.
Big mistake.
Oof. Yeah, I assume a 10 ain't gonna hit ya.
Ain't gonna come close.
But one has thrown. If you want, we can initiative. Since they've kind of thrown, it's not a. Let's see where that turn order is on.
Oh, I get advantage. I don't know how to roll advantage with this.
Well, you rolled
I've
twice
rolled
already.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what okay, so 21. I don't know how to delete the...
You can freely change it.
Yeah, go to the turn order and click on yourself, and you can just change it.
Yeah.
21. Do I
There
need
you
one?
That rock really put a damper on Viridian.
This whole time, I was imagining that he was like standing up on his horse to get a better view.
Definitely something he would do.
Right.
I mean, this is your pirate horse with ocean legs, so I'm sure it'd be fine.
It's a pirate horse.
Is this what they mean when they talk about sea legs?
Right. These are horse legs.
The horse does seem generally unaccustomed to walking on dirt as you're looking at it.
Is this what a rock is?
Horse has permanently walk on water cast on it.
Oh.
Off only.
Wouldn't that be terrifying if you were like sailing on a ship and then you just see a horse running on the water towards you with someone on its back?
Right.
That's metal.
It's got horseshoes of water
Imagine.
walking.
That works on like how many creatures? It's like 6?
No,
No, 10. Imagine 10 horses riding out at you.
Oh. Hell yeah.
Ocean cavalry.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Cheeky, you can take that idea.
Ocean
This is a
cavalry.
freebie. The next one won't be.
Oh.
You got to pay for the next one.
Oh,
I'm
Yeah.
checking things with the radius, by the way. If that's okay.
Where was the cool combat music we grabbed last time?
Here, Cheeky, I got you.
Yeah, you need to send me like the links to some of these so I can save them in a little thingamawatsit. But one of these dudes are up first, and they just start jumping around back and forth like blowing their tongue at you and like waving at you guys, seeming to just be taunting at you. Flotsam with your 21.
Yes, I am going to... I accidentally closed out of my character sheet that had all my stuff
What
on
happened?
it. I mean... Let me just make sure for the range. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna cast Shatter at this point around here. I think I can hit all 4 of these people.
Yeah. I assume that's your like little range you put on your dude.
Yeah, 10
Yeah.
feet. I'm sure there's a... I would think I could hit all 4 of them, but if I can, I'll hit as many as I can, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's just those 4. But that's still.
I don't need to move at all. I just need to do that.
You kind of strike a note, I assume. You
Yes. I have my guitar all the way over there. You probably can hear that. And yes, let me remember how to cast Shadow at 2nd level.
Oh,
DC
damn.
13.
Wow.
DC
And this-
13.
And this is something I say every time I cast Shatter, but if the creatures are made of I know that you said they're made of meat, but sometimes DMs lie. A creature made of inorganic material such as stone, crystal, or metal has disadvantage on the saving throw. And it also affects the area around it.
Yeah, a lot of these trees are going to get banned. Con saves for 1, 2, 3, 4. At a 13, all of them fail. Holy moly.
Whoa.
And at a
Sweet.
19, yeah, you just like thwomp. These things get misted. There's meat chunks everywhere.
Wait, they all do- so you guys watch as like this like Flotsam like moves past you, Viridian, and goes, "Please allow me." Takes out the bow, just one note, just dong, and like his eyes just glowing just like a hellish red as these things just, like explode into mist.
Holy crap.
There is a bar that is Viridian's admiration of Flotsam, and it keeps going up.
Got to roll,
Gaining
the
XP
Hellion.
points.
That was pretty metal.
Yeah, the RPG inside the RPG is getting Viridian to respect you.
Yes.
Yeah, the Dr. Manhattan. Yeah, he just.
Which I guess means I'm going to just move here and which I'm trying to like think of how much space that I move. 20. I got another
You got another 10.
5 feet of move. Another 10. I'll move like a couple squares over, just like down here.
Yeah.
I'll move. Oh yeah. Well, I don't. Squares are hard. Okay. And then I'll also turn off the radius since I don't really need that anymore. 0. Cool. And then I'm gonna end my turn.
Alrighty. The Helion. Let's see what they got. Let me roll a D2, see if they stay ranged or are gonna run in. They will keep ranged. They run up near you, kind of keeping together with you, and they will hold out their pistol. I think. What did I put the range of a pistol as? Handouts. 25 to 100. They would probably have a better chance with Produce Flame. 9. Keeping with their character, I see. I completely missed.
No. Shane's gonna die when we tell him that.
Oh, I know. Even I can't roll good with him.
Oh man.
The trees and that area
inferior
are
Fire
busted.
Lady.
Yeah, Fire Lady. Fire Lady Beta.
And then they pout. Comet, you are up. You are ready. Your belly is full. Your heart is lifted.
Ready to charge on in there and see what's my speed. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and I can only go up to here. I'm gonna push past through the tree, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I can just do that. Okay. And then I'm gonna go ahead and cast a Sacred Flame around this boy.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. Well.
Yeah, dude. I had the same exact issue, but he does take 1 damage.
Yeah.
Kind of like screeches out as this like little light kind of shines in his eyes. It's like, wah!
Okay. And you see like the inside the pages of his book of Comet's book, they start glowing, and so does the little flower he has tucked behind his ear as he casts Sacred Flame.
Aww.
And I believe that is my turn.
Yeah, I should be just ready for the many rocks to be pelted.
Yeah. Bring up my shield.
That scab is mince, so...
Yeah.
Though, out from the surrounding dense forest,
Oh no.
you do see perhaps why these little dudes were all gathering to this side. The sound you have been making and kind of attacks at this general location has seemed to attract some local Anger Boys.
Oh no, angry boys.
And they're just gonna start like lumbering out through the forest edge and just trying to get to what they have, like, what, 25 movement speed, if even that? 20, so they can move 40, so I got 15 more when he dashes. He just straight up just lumbering, lunging as a zombie, trying to make it to you guys, but he uses his action to dash. Adelaide.
Cool. I'm going to move a little bit closer. And then I'm going to lob a firebolt at the undead commoner that is lunging towards my teammates.
Yeah, so you quickly flare out your book and pull out a little fireball from it. Cool. Yes, as he's running up, he just gets like sideswiped by this large firebolt that almost knocks him off his feet. Like as he like lands back on his leg that he was pushed off, you hear like a loud snap, but he just kind of growls and still stares at Flotsam and the Hellion.
Yeah, and I think that'll be my turn. I'll keep a wary look on like the whole area of undead to the right. Make sure none of them kind of follow.
Alright.
But that'll be my turn.
Roll. Your passive's high enough that you can't really hear much commotion coming from there. So you feel like you're safe for now, at least.
Gotcha.
Out from the mists and the forest edge comes another lumbering boy who is going to dash his way all the way up to Comet. But he doesn't seem to have an action to attack. This scab, seeing 4 of his buddies just get mince, Cool Boy Shane is now online, so he might be joining any second now.
Hey.
You summoned him by missing with the fire spell.
Where's the fire lady?
Like a moth.
He's been watching the whole time. He's like, I'm not sitting by while you cast. It's my job to cast bad fire spells.
This scab hoofs it. He nimble escapes, disengages, runs as fast as he can.
Oh.
Hey, Shane.
Here in spirit. Gone but not forgotten.
I'm sorry.
You alright, bud?
I was sleeping.
Called it.
Yeah, that's what we figured.
I'm just
Don't worry.
Roll 20 now. What did I miss?
You skipped all the boring
We're fighting
roleplay.
some zombos.
Oh, cool.
I did make
You
one
did
attack
one-
as
you
you.
had
I'm
one-
sorry.
Go ahead and tell
And
him
you
what the
missed.
roll was.
Yeah, I rolled a 9 with a produce flame.
All right.
So I was in character, okay? Like, you can't fault me for that.
Oh
The
man.
only one at fault here is me for not having a normal sleep schedule.
Yeah, I hope you-
Here,
you're
let's
alright.
do this.
Let's go.
And it is not my turn, so I can.
No, yeah, there's a little bit. You got an commoner right in your face, though. So, you can definitely go to town next turn.
So cool.
One of the scabs just hoofed it, seeing 4 of his little bros get completely minced by a shatter.
Fled.
And yet another boy shows up from the forest's edge.
Another boy.
Another boy. Sprinting up to you, Comet, again.
Oh.
Not having an attack action, but them trying to just overwhelm you, as zombies do. Silas, how you doing?
I'm very afraid of the amount of zombies that are coming out. Let's go. Ah, I'm coming, Comet! And come running in. And go right here.
Get up behind him.
Yeah, and flank this zombo.
Alright.
And hit him with good old-fashioned borp.
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 Oof, that definitely hits.
Hey.
For 10 borp damage.
10, bludgeoning right to the
Nice. 10 whole borps.
like shattering one of his arms. You don't mind though. He's just a zombie.
Nice job, Silas.
Screaming.
That
And-
it for the boy?
Silas will stand there. Enter.
Alright, this scab is mincemeat. He's done. So is that one. Viridian.
All right. As everyone else has just sort of charged in before him, simply wheel around the horse, and I think these boys. Although, did this one throw a rock at me?
Petty.
No, I think the one that did was this dude, and he is now in multiple little pieces.
I give him that serves you right look, and then I want to charge forward and pop a swing at this boy right here.
That is technically flanking, I suppose. You are at a diagonal.
Oh, so do I get advantage for flanking or just
Yeah.
sneak attack? Okay, yeah, awesome.
Though if it's a large creature, you will have to surround rather than flank. It only works on similar-sized units. Both will hit. They're zombies, man.
Yes.
Hard to miss.
Nice.
So 9 plus
Just the two
18.
swords plunged in.
19.
He doesn't get sneak twice, sadly.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Just ignore the one.
Yeah.
18.
Yeah, so you stab in straight through this dude, and this is kind of like trying to turn with your like rapier stuck through him. You kind of just like cleave at him with your short sword. He's not happy
Just
about
like a little shish kebab, and I take a little piece off the side.
it. You used to work at a kebab store.
Yeah, way before.
Got anything else? Got it. That was your bonus. So yeah, your
Action and bonus. Yeah, that's it.
Scab's mints, and out from the forest is yet another.
Let me guess.
Oh no.
He is going to run up and accidentally flank Silas.
No! Cyrus starts crying.
He didn't
just a
mean to
little
do
bit.
it.
Yeah, he didn't mean to. It just so happenstance, you know. Getting a 22 on you.
Really, ow!
Yeah.
Remember, you got 6 temp HP,
You do
and
got that
also
6 temp.
Shane, you have 6 temp HP as well.
Oh yeah, I forgot to add that to you.
Boy.
I don't know who's how you keep track of that on here, by the way.
I would just put it in like the red bubble, perhaps.
Okay.
Overfilling
Just so everyone's
also
aware of
works.
it.
Your horse also has that Viridian.
Can you understand the?
It's fine. Lest he get hit, he has temporary health. It's fine.
I can do it for
Hell
up to
yeah.
6 people, right? I think 6 creatures, so I think it would.
Does that count yourself?
Just in there.
I don't think it counts myself.
I think it can, but it's up to you if you did or not.
Let me just read it really quick. You guys can keep going.
So this undead commoner comes up
Oh,
and
I
just
can
like thwomps his hands against the back of your chain shirt, and you take 7 bludgeoning damage as you're kind of like sandwiched between these two, kicking your ass.
It can
There goes
include
all my
myself, so I will make it include myself and not the horse.
Alright.
So I'm gonna give myself 6.
I will forego it to give it to my horse.
That's fine. You don't get to choose the creatures. I get to choose the creatures. Says so in the
I don't
spell.
care.
You have no power here.
You have no power.
This scab, also seeing 4 of his friends get completely mulched, is also going to get the hell out of here, seeing that their little ruse to summon the zombies worked, but at what cost? Flotsam, back to you.
Okay. I am going to. How hurt is the one that's been hurt so far? I guess the one by that Viridian. hit? Like, how bad are they looking?
Give me an insight, because it's particularly hard to tell with zombies how they fare.
Fair.
You do feel like most zomboys will probably go down with like 3 to 4 good hits. So you feel like he's probably getting there.
Okay. I don't suspect that we're in too much danger at this point. The one that's coming up to me and the Hellion, I am going to cast Dissonant Whispers at first level.
Alright. Will that work on an undead, I assume?
Ooh. I can read the spell here. No, hold on, let me put the... I think they make a wisdom... I don't know why it won't let me do this.
That can hear, yeah.
Very good roll, but...
Yeah, in all accounts, it should work. Undead commoner, wisdom saving throw. He has
13.
Absolutely 13. He fails. So he takes
So he's
9.
He's gonna take 9, and he's going to have to use his reaction immediately to move as far as way at his speed will allow him to.
Okay, well, I seem to be lagging really badly, but he can run 20 feet as a reaction. Connection has run to a full halt. Why am I at like 5,000 ping? Oh boy. Technical difficulties, I suppose?
Uh-oh.
You sound kind of like a robot.
Yeah, is it lagging for everyone else, or is it just I?
No, I'm
Yeah, I
there
was
you
hearing
go.
that
You cleared
too.
up.
We're
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to quickly change the server region.
Everyone likes to joke that, but in reality, I think we all know the truth.
Oh no, what's the truth?
That you're not a human, but you're a robot. You're man-made, created by man, but not of us. You know?
genetically engineered raccoon.
Oh no,
What do you mean by
dare.
us, as someone who's playing a robot?
Yeah. Alright, changing the server seems to have dealt with the lag. Yeah, so you brain blast this dude.
Oh,
and
okay, I
he
thought that was
uses
just me.
his-
I was freaking out.
No, it was,
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
I was like, my internet's
I
dying.
know, it was
No,
dumb. Do you move at all? Do you bonus action anything?
I don't really, knowing that we may get into more, I mean, it seems like everyone kind of has it handled over there on the side.
Yeah, it is a
and
while
they're
till
all-
it's another zombie's turn.
So, I guess I'm going to use a bonus action to inspire my friend Silas, who appears to be very afraid. So I'll use my bardic inspiration. So you get a D6 within the next 10 minutes. Ability check,
Alright.
attack roll, or saving throw.
We'll make use of it.
So we'll give you a little are you gonna run around anywhere, or are you gonna stick with
I'm gonna stay by the
H?
Hellion.
Alright. But then it's fresh up to bat.
All right. I'm here and I'm ready to kill some zombies. Let's do this.
Oh yeah.
Going for this guy. I don't know why he even ran away. What's his problem? I'm gonna throw flames at him.
I'll throw some sick flame. That'll hit.
Hey.
That'll
hit.
burn.
Take three fire, buddy, and then as a bonus action, could probably do something, maybe.
I think I can.
I don't actually see anything. I'm gonna move over. Let's all get together here. I'm gonna move. Yeah, I'll kind of move around this horse and get. I'm gonna flank this guy with Comet.
Double. Oh, the cross.
The crisscross.
This dude is now surrounded.
That dude's is quadruple flank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That man's is.
And then let's see. Can I do anything? I guess I could.
You could like light up a weapon,
activate my
probably.
I could use something. Yeah, hell, why not? Let's do it. I'm gonna use my blade song. So you guys haven't seen this yet, but the Hellion's stance, instead of just sort of being kind of reckless, she suddenly takes on a very graceful sort of poise that like seems very much practiced, and sort of pirouettes around Viridian and sort of like mid blade, like basically dancing with like her two swords, and it looks kind of cool. You haven't actually seen her do anything with it yet, but it's neat. That's the end of my turn.
Comet, cool. You're flanking two dudes right now. You got pick of the litter. One's looking real weak. One's looking. It's got bopped once.
All right, I'm gonna bop this one.
All right, cross bop.
So cross bop. Oh, so it's advantage.
Yeah, you got advantage because Silas is
Sweet.
distracting him. I'm not sure if being flanked outflanks you, so you don't have flank anymore, but we're not going to worry about it. 16 hits.
Okay.
Ooh, 11.
That's 11 damage. Yeah. Boom.
Drops him. He's looking pretty weak. His knees are rocking. His bunch of spaghetti comes out of his pockets as you hit him.
Oh no, not the spaghetti. Is he still up?
He is still up, but like barely.
And I'm gonna say like, I'm gonna look over to Silas and be like, "Thanks for the help. I'll help you as much as I can too." And I'm gonna go ahead and cast Shield of Faith on him.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
so you get +2 to your AC.
Protect that cat.
Alright, yeah, so you're inspired and shielded. Is there a shield? Why is there not a shield?
There's like a shield with wings that I normally use.
Ah, yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that one.
So many buffs.
Right?
Sweet.
Oh, man.
And I believe that's all I can do.
Alright. Other than, like, reposition or stuff, but I don't know why you would. Undead Commoner, not sure why he decided to run away and then copped a firebolt to the back of the head, but he is going to run over here and flank the Hellion.
Oh no!
This is like frickin' Connect 4 all over again. Rolling a 16. Does a 16 beat your AC when you're in blade dancing mode?
I think Shane stepped away for a little bit.
I will look at his sheet. 17, I think it is, so I don't think that hits it.
It's my special move. look at your sheet. Stan.
The zombie runs up and tries to swing at him, but the Hellion seems to just twirl and like Matrix under the swing.
Dodge out of the way.
Oh yeah. Adelaide, you're far from the ruckus. No zombies near you.
Everyone's kind of in a Connect 4 pile.
You can come hang out with me.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang out with Flotsam.
Hell yeah.
But I would like to cast. Well, originally my plan was to do like Burning Hands, but then all my friends decided to form a square, so that's not going to work anymore. I am.
Similar plan.
I am, however, going to.
We can
cast...
take it.
Well, in that case, no. I'm going to cast Chromatic Orb on the Zombo that just hit the Hellion.
Alright, on the far back one.
Yeah.
Roll that hit. That'll hit. What do you conjure?
Oh, a 9'll hit? Wow.
Yeah, zombies, man.
I'm going to do fire damage to further flex.
So you pull open your chromatic orb page and like press the color element that you want off the page, and you rip it out and launch it at this dude, and it like
scroll through the options.
Yeah, it's a touchscreen. Arcane touchscreen.
Oh hell yeah! You blast this thing, like you scorch its legs off until it's just like its upper half that just clumps to the floor. It takes that and has to roll its undead fortitude. 5 plus the damage taken, which was after that. Con save. I think it makes it's on the ground with 1 health. Somehow.
Somewhere.
Somehow. And that'll be my turn.
Alright. Once surrounded, doesn't really have a lot to do. He's going to make a swing up at Viridian, more so trying to just pull you off the horse. So make
can
an
try.
opposed, make an opposed athletics strength check for me.
No one unmounts me.
Yeah, so he reaches up and you just plant your foot square on the face. He takes 1 damage, cause holy crap. Holy moly. I mean, what's your strength
Again,
actually?
buddy.
It would be 1 plus your strength. What's your strength?
That's a +3.
+3. Oof. Let's see if he goes down. Oh no, he's still standing at 1 health.
Damn it.
But that's his turn, getting kicked in the face. That Scab's out of here. This zombie is going to make an attack at Silas, since he's the only one who's flanking and likes his odds. Rolling a 20. Does a 20 hit you even with your...
Yes, it does.
You take only 4 bludgeoning, though, as it kind of bats against you. You feel this like force try to block it, but it kind of like edges through still. But it is your turn to retaliate, should you so choose.
Silas will just go and turn around, lifting his hammer up into the air and kind of grip it very harshly, and will throw down a hammer towards his head, towards this Zombo's head.
Or the one behind you.
Mm-hmm.
You will not have advantage on this dude, but not hard to hit. Unless you roll a 6.
Wait, I have
You do have inspiration.
Aha!
That'll get it.
Yes. Yeah, the inspiration.
And I'm going to pump a smite into it.
Nice. Oh, 17.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
It's gonna look like those vampires in the 2nd season of Castlevania when they get hit with the whip.
Yeah, so you raise your warhammer up. Which side are you facing down?
Oh, I'm doing hammer face down.
Alright, so you raise it up, and as you're swinging it down, it seems to catch light. Just this radiant burning seems to start swinging down. Makes like a slight whistling noise, but as it's about to like hit him, he seems to lurch to the side, and it just cleaves off his right arm. Kind of just searing, like auto-cauterizing the wound shut as you hit down. He looks unhappy. Even for a zombie.
As my bonus action, from that smite that Silas just did, the energy will crawl up his warhammer and like kind of cover his body as I'll channel divinity for inspiring smite.
Oh.
So I'm going to use 2d6 and gain 12 temporary hit points.
Damn.
Sweet.
Hell yeah.
Silas has a radiant
Nice.
glow about him.
Even more. You have like a radiant shield. You had inspiration.
All the buffs.
Yeah, now you got your temp health back, and you definitely chunked him. Viridian. Dude just tried to pull you off, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be the last thing he ever does. I want to swing Whirlwind around, and Whirlwind gives him the hooves.
Oh, the shotgun hooves. That it's him.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
The hooves.
All right, let's see if he stays up. Nah, he's minced. Oh yeah. He just cops it like right to the chest and just like a sack of potatoes goes down.
And now that everyone knows it was my choice, I am going to actually stand up on 2 feet on the back of Whirlwind.
Cool.
And then I'm going to jump onto this zombie and attack it.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
You gotta do like the
Oh.
Whoa.
This makes up for the -2 to luck.
Oh,
Shane, you should try doing that sometime, Shane. That'd be really cool.
oh no! Don't bully him.
no.
So for when it comes
no.
to crits, anything that's like extra damage, like a sneak attack, radiant damage, will be just roll another dice, but the martial dice from any weapon crit will be doubled. So like if you get a crit inflict wounds, it's not like 30 plus 3d6, it'll just be 66, but if you crit with a longsword, it'll be like the d8 fully and then an extra d8. Just to kind of make a crit seem a little cooler than getting a 1 and rolling really shitty. But when you crit a spell, like, chances are you're gonna roll a shit ton anyway.
So is that 5 + 5 or 5 + 8?
That would be 8. It would be your first one max, then plus the 1, sadly. So
Oh, okay, yeah, gotcha. Okay.
yeah, so you'd 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 with your normal. Let's see if he was on 1 health, dude. Leave him alone. Nah, he's done. Yeah, you like Palpatine jump off the horse, doing a spin in midair.
I am the Senate.
Then as I just sort of pull the rapier out, wince around, I think Silas has got that one.
Yeah, he did.
So then I'm going to
Bonk
take
it,
off towards the one the Hellion is fighting and hit it with the short sword attack.
This one might, unless you maneuver around, it would get a swing as you run past.
It can take the swing, I don't care.
The 13 will hit though.
Temp HP.
I don't get the sneak attack, ignore that.
Yeah. You take 4 points of bludgeoning as you run past. As he clips you. You got a 22. And you deal 5 to him, so he must make a con. And he failed. Yeah, you clip him down. Damn. You killed 3 in 1 turn, dude. Stop.
Well, I only killed 2. Whirlwind killed 1.
Holy shit.
Hey, one of us killed 4 of them in
You
one
did,
turn
like,
earlier.
completely eviscerate 4 dudes in 1 cast.
That's absolutely, definitely my turn. I'm done.
You could provide flanking for Silas.
True.
Though the Hellion probably has that, if it even comes to their turn.
I've done enough.
He will just take another swing at Silas. He's the last dude, but he's a zombie, man. Keep on trucking. 22 to hit, double 22s in fact. He doesn't have advantage, but he takes 3 points of bludgeoning.
Ow!
Yeah, as he kind of just hits you with his, like, the back of his wrists.
My radiant shield eats it for now.
Yeah. Flotsam.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have much to... I'm not going to run over there and get in that skirmish. I'm just going to cast Vicious Mockery.
Ooh.
Oh.
Insult for 1.
For the 1.
With save...
13?
Oh damn, he does not care for your insults. He doesn't hear him. Hear no evil.
What is your insult?
You fall on deaf
Yeah,
ears.
what are you calling?
I say, you are deceased, and that does not make you a very good fighter.
I hear this, like, I call back to you.
Try a little harder next time, buddy.
Understood. So he won't if he succeeds. I think that I'm still gonna end my turn. I'll stay by Adelaide.
Oh yeah, you can inspire another if you so wish. I guess with a bonus action.
I do not wish to use a bardic inspiration at this point with the current.
All right.
If this undead gets to attack again, it's gonna be really surprising.
Right. Well, Hellion, you're up. Last dude.
Alright. I guess I'll maneuver to flank. What does flanking do? I missed
It's
that.
advantage.
Advantage? Oh, that's sweet. Okay. So I'm gonna attack. We'll see. Let's see it happen.
Come on, Flame Lady, Fire Lady.
Alright, first attack.
William,
23 hits. For 6 slashing.
Alright,
Yeah.
he has to make a con save. With an dismal, yeah, he's still up.
Oh no.
Okay. Alright. I got an offhand, yeah, so we're gonna try again. That'll hit,
Yeah,
but
that'll
this without the I guess I could just roll a d6. Probably be better.
That's fine. I can
Huh.
quick math.
Oh, whoops! I gotta put an R there. My bad.
1.
Nice.
See if
Very
you-
nice.
Sweet.
Yeah, you get it. Yeah. You
That
kind
was
of
it.
one sword in one shoulder. He's like kind of still groaning. You're like, how is this dude still? He just took like a huge hit. You cleave in with the other one on the other side, and he kind of just slumps to the ground in front of you.
I'm just glad I took one down.
And that is
Sweet.
all that seems to be in this area. The forest seems to go quiet once more.
Hear the birds.
Yeah, let's get the birds back. Not the. Oh yeah, Mark is
We're fighting the birds next.
Right, you notice I have a sunflower in my cap that was given to me by Comet, who had to explain to me that sometimes you can just give someone something and you don't really need anything in return.
That's right.
I suppose now might be a good time to take a little 5-minute, just so we can catch up Shane with what he missed,
A break.
and people can go get a sip or bathroom.
Anything they need.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we'll
Yeah.
cut Brickety Break with the cool little
Right
character
time.
cards showing up again.
Yeah. Be back real soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys have just mopped up the zombies, have kind of tended to your little woundage bits.
My bits.
Yeah, what do you guys do now that
I'm the only one who was hurt.
I think actual health? Yeah, I'm not sure if anyone else was actually attacked.
I still have my temp HP. I think temp HP also lasts until your.
I think when
long
you take a
rest.
rest, yeah.
Is it a rest or is it a long rest? I'll look it up.
I
think
would
it's
assume
long rest.
Long rest, yeah. We'll go long rest to now until The comment section tells me otherwise.
Screams at me.
Technically, inspiring leader lasts forever until it's lost,
Oh.
but a
Hey,
person
guys,
can't gain it
hell
again until they finish a short or long rest.
Oh, well, there we go.
Okay, cool. Glad I took the feat then.
Forever inspired.
Hellion, as you walk up to this little palisade, it seems to be a very quick, thrown-together border between this area and what is beyond, and on it seems to be hanging like a little plaque that says "Do not enter," and it has like a little like kind of comical cat face stamp next to it, like kind of out of place for a place like this.
I want to ride
it a
up
gray
next to
cat?
Hellion. Do any of the three of us, or the four, I guess, of us recognize the symbol?
Not really. It seems it is grey and it is a picture of a cat. So you kind of gather it might be a symbol of the grey
I'm
cat.
gonna climb the palisade.
Easy enough athletics.
Sure, let's
You
throw it in there.
look
Hey,
over.
10.
And you see that there seems to be some sort of little inset house in this little grove, and outside it seems to be a whole bunch of dead undead that don't seem to be moving at all.
I'm gonna hop over this, and I'm gonna start walking this way, and I'm gonna call out. Wait, do I know about Grey Cat?
You would have been around, yeah.
Great cat!
I'm gonna go through the woods and then go.
Oh no.
As you start shouting, you like hear the like door to this building up north of you. Kind of start to like, well, you hear like sounds from within, really, as well as like some like groans of interest, like waking up a Goron in Ocarina of Time or something.
Go ahead and make a. Can you go ahead and make a groan of interest? I don't know what. I
It's
cannot
like,
fathom.
I think my Discord like nullifies all sound effects because of the new thing. Hang on. It's very Goron-esque when you kind of stop them from rolling. They're like,
That's okay. We accomplished what I was trying to do.
and you kind of very quickly see the thing making the groans as the door kind of busts open, not in like a way to destroy the door, just someone angrily opening the door, as this lad seems to burst out, opening the door, letting out like a
Little
roar.
hat.
It seems to be like a pretty large orc-looking dude in like farmer clothes, but he has this huge axe in one hand.
Oh no.
As he like rolls out, pointing the axe at you, just going. "Roar!"
You're not great cat.
It definitely doesn't look like it. You feel
Between
like
him and the symbol, like,
you feel like the "do not enter" was more for your safety than like this is my house.
Oh, that gray cat.
I
was all
look.
That wraps
I look
Scallion.
over at Flotsam, just like someone turning towards the camera, like boop boom 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 boom, and I like shrug like hell.
Who else but the Hellion?
I guess roll a quick initiative because he's just running at you right now.
I would like to say real quick. I imagine Viridian like gets up on the thing and is like, "What the?"
Yeah,
Sees, like, the
some of you are
massive
probably
thing.
mid crawling over at this point.
Hey.
I'm in the boss arena. Very cool.
Oh, I
Trying to
rolled,
clamber
I rolled
back
really
over.
good.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
Is it lumberjack get a 0?
No, I just added him to the turn order. I need
Get
to-
under a 9 if you could.
Let's do a quick.
You're a 5.
You get under a 5, that'd be great.
Flotsam, you king. You absolute king, Flotsam.
Yeah. 2 nat 20s.
That is my
Sweet.
boy.
Flotsam, I think, is the best of us. Can we pick a leader? Is that a thing? Can we make Flotsam our king?
Our king, our Lord
I
Emperor.
can tell you that Flotsam would not like that. Would not like to be.
Making his quick boy. Go with that for now. A 3.
Yeah! I
Wow.
can stray away to safety like the coward I am.
This is great. I mean, we could potentially all just run away, but I don't think we're gonna do that.
You could definitely
I think he might
leave
follow
the
us
way
if we
you
try to
came.
run.
Seeing as how he's a lumberjack, we might not want to make him be loose in the woods.
He just starts hacking down the forest.
He's cutting down the whole forest.
He's an out of control lumberjack.
If I can't have it, no one can.
You joke, but like this is kind of like a Captain Planet villain, more or less.
Oh yeah.
Whose heart?
I'm not wrong, you know.
You're not.
Flotsam
that's
is
the
hard.
thing.
Flotsam is totally hard.
I don't have one though.
No, but that you symbolize it.
So
Don't you
only
see?
fits more.
And Adelaide is fire.
Yeah.
Cheers, brother.
Oh no.
I'm up first. I realized I don't know. I was waiting for you to give me the go ahead.
No, yeah, you go completely ahead. I was just quickly making sure he's everything about him is up to snuff.
I don't really need him to. Gosh. Okay. I am going to first cast Shatter. At second level, centered on him.
All right.
So it's a con saving throw.
Con save DC 13.
It's a really good roll.
Oof. He saves it,
Oof, that's
and his rolls
Okay,
are public.
he's still gonna take half damage.
Let me depublicarize his rolls. Whisper toggle.
Understood.
No, it's not. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so he takes half of 17, which is 8. I assume.
Then I am going to look over to the Hellion, and you're going to hear like my eyes are going to like spin as like the servos in my like hands like sort of move as I get my violin into like a perfect position and putting the bow to the strings. You're going to hear like a much deeper voice say, "Engage battle mode." And I'm going to use Mantle of Inspiration.
Ooh.
So I'm going to expend a Bardic Inspiration to grant myself a Wondrous Appearance. I get to choose 3 creatures.
Ooh.
In the range, which is 60 feet. I'm going to choose Comet, Viridian, and the Hylian. I think that's everyone. And I am going to... Well, Viridian, you're off your horse, right?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. I'm going to choose
The horse
Comet,
ain't going over the wall.
Comet, Viridian, and the Hellion. Each of you is going to gain 5 temporary HP, and you can immediately use your reaction to move up to your speed without provoking opportunity attacks.
Oh yeah, buddy.
That's normally a
I
range of
still-
a treat, but I'm using it solely to advance.
I think I have already your 6 from before, so I'm gonna just keep
Yeah, I don't know if they
those.
stack.
I
They
think
don't
don't.
stack, but the
they
5
do
does
not?
override if you take damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Can we
more.
go over the wall with our speed?
Yeah, I'll
Or
allow you to
around
like.
it?
I'll allow you to at least get on the other side of it.
Okay.
Oh.
Chose the same exact thing. There
That's
you
cool.
go.
I'll be back here. You're good.
And I am going to use I still have my movement. So...
You said as a reaction we can move.
Yeah, you can.
You can use your so you can use your reaction to move.
Yeah, since I get to go before this guy, I think maybe.
Really, I didn't use it
I
on
might-
Silas because I thought he would be scared.
You thought correctly.
I'm gonna move back into like the corner, I guess. I'll move like here. So I can have a better view of what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna end my turn.
Alright, good turn. Holy moly.
Nice.
Adelaide, you just saw everyone just scramble on over this fence.
I should say also Flotsam is letting loose like a very sick, like very quick violin solo, fiddle solo, while his like red eyes are just like affixed on his hand plucking or like moving along the strings, along the frets.
Yeah, that's a lot to take in, in like a second. But I'm gonna like move forward, hop over the fence, and because it does seem to be kind of my signature spell, I'm gonna cast Chromatic Orb at 2nd level.
Smart.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to like on the spells tell it to cast it at a higher level, so I'm just gonna see if it hits, and then if it hits, I'll add another D8.
Yeah, usually if it's added by the compendium.
Oh wait, wait.
It asks.
Yeah, you should be able to. There you go.
Wait.
But wait.
Is that just telling you what it does?
Yeah, you gotta
click on the little name
Ah.
of it.
You gotta roll it from your like attacks menu in your core part. That should give you the attack.
There you go.
A 15 will get him.
Yay! And then I can add an extra D8.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, 3d8
Yes.
plus. Yep.
What typo damage?
Yeah,
It's
what are
gonna
we
be
going
fire
for?
damage.
More flame.
So 19 fire damage in all.
Nice.
So yeah, I hop
you
the fence,
whip him.
lift the rune off the page, and then throw an especially large orb of fire directly at this big axe man.
Yeah, you ping him real hard. Like it's like the meatiest fireball you've ever shot. Comet.
All right. I see this, and I'm like, oh, all right, we're fighting. And so let's see, how far am I from this guy? Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and move over here, and then I'm going to cast. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Sacred Flame.
Alright.
Alright,
go.
it's not that much damage.
Dex save. Add a dex. He'll take 3 radiant.
Heck yeah.
Any bonuses? Any?
Since that was a cantrip, can I cast a bonus action spell?
Yes. I do remember getting a message in the video where apparently as long as you don't cast a bonus action spell first, you can still do it. But if you cast a bonus action first, it like locks you to the only cantrip. Apparently, if I read it right. Either way, I don't care.
That was a comment, but I'm gonna real quick see what the actual rule is.
Yeah, like. But I'll allow it if you have a bonus action, yeah. Because that was a cantrip, so.
So I'm gonna go ahead and cast Spiritual Weapon at level 2.
Ooh.
Is that a concentration, or is that...
It is not concentration.
Okay, cool, so Shield of Faith is still up.
Yeah.
What does your spiritual weapon look like?
The Spiritual Weapon takes the form of a big ol' buzzed firefly right here.
Oh, you can summon a little firefly at him.
A firefly.
Yeah.
Nice. So it goes to try and sting at him. It like sticks into him, but you feel like this dude probably has a thicker hide than a normal zombie.
Oh no!
Being bigger and being an orc, it looks like. So that does not hit, sadly, but he's still up.
Okay, that's my turn.
Alright. Viridian.
All right. Can do a little measure here. Yeah, I can't really do anything except just get in range. So I'm gonna run up beside the Hellion and have just both weapons out, ready to go.
Nice. They can the bonus action run up. It's a action stab him, I suppose.
I can't use bonus action to dash yet.
You can't. Oh yeah, you know. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Hellion, you're up.
Level 1.
All right. I am going to activate my blade song again, since I think it's been past a minute since our last fight.
Well, I'll say still up. That's fine.
Oh, okay, cool.
You got to attack once with it.
I appreciate it. In that case, I'm going to attack this dummy with a scimitar.
That'll get him.
Sweet.
For
That'll
9.
hit God.
And then no dice
will,
on that second one.
Like bites into him, but it doesn't seem to draw any damage.
And then as part of my movement, is he just like in the doorway?
Yeah, he seems to just be like taking up the doorway at this point.
Is there like any windows on the front end of the house?
There seems to be a few. Some are kind of boarded up, but I'll say you can get a good enough look in there to see that there doesn't seem to be much in there, but like a lot of wood. With your dark vision, you can see that there's a lot of elaborate carvings inside this little house, and like hanging from the roof are like dozens of like wood chime-looking things.
Can I dive through the window?
Definitely. You would just be on the other side of him. Let me...
That's what I...
Sound effect was nice.
Yeah.
Fully
30 traps.
Yeah.
I'm not...
I do like a tuck and roll on the other side.
You're locked in here with me.
Yeah, exactly.
I just want to give, Viridian flanking.
You'll have to surround this dude to flank him, because he's...
because he's large.
He's large. You wouldn't... You can retcon your jumping in if you want, knowing that he's large.
Stay in the house.
No, I'm in. I jumped
Heck
in.
yeah. That's very the Hellion of you. I love that.
I'm
gonna come in after you so quick.
You have done a substantial... If that's all, then it is Silas.
Okay. Seeing that everyone is now engaging with this thing, he goes, "Oh, really?" And we'll run this way and land right about here, and we'll look back towards what Adelaide has been doing, and kind of like mimic the motions and like go to throw something, and as his hand like reaches out, that some of that like radiant energy that is surrounding his body launches out from his hand in the form of a guiding bolt.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I'm assuming that easy hit.
Boy, was I praying that you had some sort of ranged spell.
Yeah.
For 10 radiant damage.
Sweet.
10 radiance on him.
And my prayers were answered.
Whew. This dude
My
is
God smiles on
easily
me,
bloody
Imperials.
already. He's so hurt. Holy shit. Next attack on him
I mean, that
does
was a
have
lot of
advantage.
consecutive hits.
Yeah, this is the problem when you have one enemy.
Yeah.
Let's put a little haze is lit up right now. Next attack has advantage. That's action. Anything else you got going on?
Oh no, I'm a paladin. What do you mean bonus action?
Right. When a boss-like creature is half-elfed, it enters an enraged state. Which unlocks depending on creature, different abilities.
He gets a bigger hat.
Yeah, for this dude, his hat enlarges. This dude simply gets more attacks. So he gets so angry that he's just going to town.
Wait, actually, then can I retcon that as a bonus action my turn? I raged.
If you had the bonus action, sure.
I did. I only moved my turn.
Alright, yeah, I'll allow you to rage. But seeing someone inside his little house, like first he walks out, he gets shattered. Like a lot of like loose wood kind of gets shattered off of his house, and he's like, "Argh!" And then like a firebolt hits him, and he has to like pat out a fire that's like kind of catching next to him. He's like, "Argh!" And then like a girl who is on fire jumps into his house full of wood. So he turns around and is like, "No!" And he is just going to like 2 huge swings with this axe right at you.
You got that 6 temp HP.
Well, 1 crit, sir.
Oh no!
What?
6
it.
temp HP.
Are you attacking me? Stop.
He rolled
he rolled a crit, so that means that damage is gonna be maxed.
Oh god.
Don't worry about it. It's fuck. 28 damage with the first hit.
Oh no! Oh no!
Okay.
22 because he gets temp HP.
Yeah, so temp HP gets murked very quickly.
So, wow. All right.
I still think you're on 10.
Second hit was a 16. Does that hit?
That does not hit.
That does not hit. He goes to swing again, but you like just get out the way, and he like cleaves into the floor, which seems to piss him off even more. And with his third attack, he's going to try and grab you. Roll a roll an acrobatics to dodge or an athletics to contest. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. No. He grabs you. And he is going to throw you at Flotsam and Comet.
Can I try to catch her?
Can we try to catch her?
Yeah.
Class. The fuck?
Roll a either one of you roll strength with advantage, or both roll strength.
I don't have very good strength.
Can I roll athletics or just strength?
Well, athletics.
I'll roll it with advantage, Blossom.
You roll with advantage, yeah.
What is
that? I actually am proficient in athletics, but it's not by much.
That still helps. Yeah, so, Hellion, you are like, as you're like reacting to the second swing, he just grabs you and just like, you just feel wind rushing around you as he just baseball swing throws you all the way at your friends. And you feel like you're bracing for impact, but you just feel like the softest catch in existence. you're like braced in midair, like you've just done ballet again.
Oh, that was fucking rad.
None of you take damage from the throw, thankfully.
I'm like coughing up blood and shit. Like I clearly just got my ass beat up, but I'm like,
that was fucking awesome.
As he roars at Viridian, who's in his way.
Oh, I roar back.
Flotsam.
Ra, you need to be more careful, but I am glad that you are alright. I don't really have it, but this makes me so nervous. I'm trying to this is the unfortunate position of me being at the top of the order, wondering, can we kill him before we get to the next round, or do I need to swing? Because I don't really want to. I'm not sure I want to waste my bardic inspiration or a lot more or too many more spell slots. Okay. Question about the radiant bolt. So if I attack him, the advantage goes away.
Yes, you will use the advantage if you attack him.
So if I use, say, vicious mockery,
that's a save, so I don't think it'll count.
So I don't. That was my question.
Yeah, I think that's
All right. I'm going to first, from where I am, I'm going to stay where I am, but I am going to cast Vicious Mockery.
Yeah.
Are you going to cast it on me because I deserve it?
No, you're my best friend.
Dude, you live, man. With save, not good whiz, but he manages to, rolling a 17.
Okay.
He's just angry, man. You guys like broke into his house, started throwing shit at him. But he is a zombie, so you know.
The question is do I do a spell slot? Why not? I'm gonna turn over and throw a healing word at the Hellion.
Alright.
5.
Hey.
Better than nothing, I guess. And I'll end my turn by her in comment.
Alright. Adelaide?
Yep. Can anyone guess what spell I'm gonna cast?
You have the chromatic orb page bookmarked.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do it with advantage.
Yeah.
Yay!
was
First
one.
level this time, because I kind of want to save a second level spell slot.
Smart.
No, go for that chromatic orb.
14 will get him.
Yee.
15
And
what?
let's spice it up. Let's have it be acid this time.
Oh.
Oh, jeez. Viridian ducks.
Yeah. So you splash acid on him, he like pats it out on his clothes rather quickly as he like shakes it off, but then like makes sure especially that his house isn't being melted. He seems very angry, he's panting pretty hard for a zombie. Your book the entire time, by the way, Adelaide, is just like, why are we here? What are we doing? They're lost causes, we should just get out of here.
I ignore it for the time being. I'd rather focus on the zombie than my book. And I'll end my turn.
Comet, you just caught a fireball.
After Flotsam healed her a little bit, I'll go ahead and be like, here, we need to make sure you're a little bit careful next time. And I'll do Cure Wounds, level 2.
Nice.
Thank you, Forest Dad.
For one extra
Forest
health.
Dad.
8 damage, 8
Forest
healing.
Dad.
Forest Dad. He heals our friends.
Yay!
Yeah, so that's 8 healing, and then I think Cure Wounds, I think is a bonus? No, it's an action. Okay, that's good. Because now I can do the little Firefly as my bonus action. Yeah. I'll go ahead and do that. Oop, that's a miss.
Yeah. Seems to be very good at swatting away little pests.
Yeah, it's just a little tiny Firefly right now. Yeah, and I'll go ahead and I guess I'll step a little closer. I'll go like right here. About right there. And then I'll end my turn.
Alright. Viridian. Angry Orc versus Angry Orc. You can kind of see yourself in this dude a little.
I don't like it. Alright, so I'm gonna make the attack against him, just with the rapier.
He no longer has the little haze. That'll get him. With the rage, yep, 10 damage, easy. Stabbing through his like huge amount of thigh.
And then as my bonus action, is there like furniture in the house I can attack to make him angrier?
You feel like attacking any part of the house would probably make him angry.
Yeah, staying in his range, I want to like dance around him, just further into the house, and I just want to break something.
roll an attack with just the damage, I guess, yeah. The hit doesn't matter. Oh, you fuck up like some like little almost like tiki pole he was maybe carving at some point. You kind of just like cleave it in half, and he kind of just like mouth like less anger than just like shock awe that you have the goal to like go into his house and break something like this.
He doesn't see it, but I wink at him.
Oh.
My knickknacks!
Yeah, my curios! Hellion, it's back to you. You saw Viridian kind of like slide into the house.
I bet you can't do that again.
and I'm gonna attack him. That hit.
That'll get, yeah.
Come on, 5.
There's another
Oh,
9
damn.
slashing.
Nice.
Bonus action.
That'll get.
Is that it?
Yep.
All right, and then I'll just roll that one separately since there's no modifier to it.
We always got
Haha!
damage
Hey,
is damage.
It's damage.
Damage is damage. Cool. Yeah, and I'm just there, just slicing him up.
Just got a
Silas.
flesh wound.
He grumbles at
Silas
you.
will stay right where he is. Look at his hand and like, what did I? That was, and tries it again. And throws another guiding bolt.
Do you have the juice for another?
Yep, I have 3 spell slots.
Nice. Yeah, that hits.
Mm.
Hot damn.
That's the last of my spell slots too. So
Let's
11.
go. Let's go.
Blasts up like his up against his rib cage as he's like looking between the two intruders, and he is lit up again. Panting very heavily. If you want to move, you still can also.
no, I'm perfectly okay right where I am.
The lumberjack, more mad at Viridian for actually coming in and breaking his stuff now, the clever boy, is just going to make 2 wide swings at you.
Bring it on.
at
I'm
an
ready.
18 and a 20 non-naturals.
Both hit.
Rocking a 12 and a 14 damage, so 6 and a 7.
Oh, that's nothing. That's nothing with temp.
I know, all that temp you went through, like your temp's doubled with rage. And just because they're like
Hell
still
yeah.
there and annoying, he turns around and just like with the back of the axe, just like tries to just backswing at Hellion. Ooh, rolling an 18.
Go for it. I'm going to shield so that you don't hit me.
Yeah, the back of the axe is coming at you as he's like just kind of stares back at you annoyed and just tries to bat you away from him, but you produce this like flame shield that the back of it busts against.
I stick out my tongue kind of very childishly. Like,
Yeah, that's what it is. Flotsam. This dude is panting real heavy, and he's looking less angry and more just sad.
I don't know if I can. I can get to him. I'm gonna get to him. I'm gonna go up and help my friend.
Hey.
I'm gonna step over this undead guard, I guess.
You can see that all these undead on the ground have like huge cleaver marks in them as well, as if they had like messed with him and got his axe.
So I don't have. I do not have. What's it called? Advantage. By any way, I don't know if, what you consider surrounding this.
No, you have
he's not
advantage because of
surrounded,
guiding
but-
bolt.
Oh, I do have advantage because of guiding bolt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, what happened just now? This is a technical question. My Flotsam screen went to like a dark gray, and I can't see any of my abilities anymore.
Oh no.
Oh, like is it like a little?
It like minimized.
Oh,
and I don't know
double-click
how to
it.
max.
It should
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I've ruined the game. With advantage, right?
Yep.
So let's go with rapier.
20 gets him
Thank goodness.
with 5. Whew. You absorb the guidance and stab into him again. He's being Swiss cheesed right now, but he now stares at you, another little thorn in his side, it seems.
And that is all that's all I'm gonna really do.
Alright, Adelaide, this dude's looking wary, looking weak.
Yeah, I'm not gonna use Chromatic Orb again. I'm just gonna throw a Firebolt and
Alright.
see if I can finish him off.
9 sadly does not hit. Hits like the side of the house again, and he kind of gets another burst of like, no. Just quickly slaps it out.
And I'll end my turn.
Comet.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and move over here. And then, like, looking right down the barrel, I'm gonna do Guiding Bolt.
Ooh.
I'm gonna follow Silas's lead.
That'll get him.
Ooh.
Heck yeah.
And since
you see, it's like
it
a
is
pale
not-
yellow, like a pale yellow star-like thing shoots out of my hand, and just impacts right into the lumberjack.
Yeah, so you send out this little star blast, and it conks him right in the head, and he kind of like stares at you a little, and these like kind of blue glowing eyes start to like sputter out as he kind of like starts to lose energy and kind of just like very heavily falls back onto his wooden floor. His large axe kind of clattering next to you, Viridian, as he falls.
Oh.
On my turn, I still attack. I just start breaking stuff.
You start trashing his shit.
Good work, everybody. We took out the man who lived in this house. Let's steal my shit.
We killed the man.
We went into an area we weren't supposed to go into, and destroyed this man's property and also his life. Life if he's undead.
Thinking that Viridian is doing something that has value and importance, I'm also going to start breaking stuff.
Yes. I want to steal. If there's anything interesting, I want to steal it before they get to it.
As you are all around him, you do see he seems to like start to lose like corporealness somehow. Like he seems to be like fading, it seems, and like dissolving. Yeah, and out from his his last gasp, a little orb-like item seems to float above him.
Ooh, I'm gonna yank that.
Well, there's 3 people. If unopposed, you can definitely yank it.
Yeah, they only can
since
have
they're
it.
destroying shit, I figured I was gonna be picking stuff up.
Wasn't my kill. I don't need it.
Yeah. However, we will leave the looting and finding of stuff in here, maybe because I didn't expect you to go in here and steal shit. We'll leave that to next week.
Okay.
Where we will leave off this session with you guys having defeated the strange undead lumberjack of the forest and
Yay.
kind of looting through his shit, silhouetted on everyone outside, kind of wary about what just happened.
We're gonna return to the. We're gonna return to the town victorious. Like, we did it, and they're like, "You found Grey Cat? You found my tools? What? No, we killed that lumberjack. That's what you. That's the quest, right? That's what you wanted.
Riley?
You killed. What did you do to Riley?
Oh wait, Riley, you went to see Riley. He was really sick. Did he look sick to you?
You helped him, right?
He was mute.
Like a zombie, kinda.
He could only talk in like grunts and stuff because he had brain.
He had a thing?
He's lives on the outskirts of town.
He has a skin condition. Looks a bit ghoulish. He looks like a ghoul, like a hunchback ghoul.
Blue glasses that make his eyes look like they're glowing all the time.
They're like,
we thought if we put a hat on him, people wouldn't kill him. We thought it made him
Riley,
look
see, you thought he was undead. He had a hat. What are you talking about? Undead can't wear it.
I don't think undead can wear hats.
Sure, they've got
Maybe a
nothing up in them.
It's like, actually, he let out a very interested groan.
We heard him.
He had a job. He had an axe.
He had a job.
I'm just standing over his body like, you have been bested by my blade.
We heard the
Oh my god.
we heard the Tim Allen grunt from Home Improvement. We heard like
Oh,
I
man.
practiced that one a bit.
all right, I'm going to head out,
you gotta
everybody.
get out, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I had a very good time.
Bye, Fel.
I will see you next week.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Assuming if assuming we want to take some sort of short rest, probably in this house.
Yeah, I assume there'll be a short rest in this area.
Comet is going to
after we
go
destroy
ahead.
it.
After you destroy it, yeah.
Comet is going to go ahead and ask the trees around here if they can make like some rustling sounds if anything gets close to the house.
Roll a persuasion.
All right.
Can I help him charm the trees at all?
Roll
I
a
do have
plant
persuasion.
check.
Yeah, roll a plant, boy.
All right. My persuasion isn't great, so here we go. All right.
Ooh.
Not sure. You get like a 50-50 maybe, you know? Like,
Okay.
like, maybe we will, maybe we won't. Well, what's up to you? What you gonna
That's
pay us
fair.
with? What's in it for us?
I mean-
These are very materialistic trees.
Yeah. Wow.
Considering we just like defeated their mortal enemy, the lumberjack.
What a
you think they'd be
capitalistic forest.
you got a pretty necklace. Hand it over.
Right.
I like your shoes.
Just entering the forest, it just says
The trees just like mug you.
Oh god, there's something I could have done.
What's in your backpack? Give us your backpack. Come on.
What's in the bag,
Hey,
man?
boy,
What's in the
come on.
bag?
oh god, the flower's got a knife.
Oh no. It's coming right at me.
Leave the Yeezys.
The lumberjack was the good guy. He was taking out these asshole trees, and we fucking stopped him.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't really have anything on me that I can offer.
Yeah, mush.
How about?
You got mush,
Wait, do you have the guidance spell?
I do have guidance.
Just cast guidance on everybody, on all the trees.
Well, there's
What's that?
concentration, so I could only do it once.
Oh.
Well, that one
that's
tree will
kinda-
rustle.
Yeah, that one. His name is
Yeah.
Russell. It's his job.
Hey, Russell.
Just be
I'll go
like the
ahead and
next
cast-
grow check that you take will be with a plus d4.
Yeah, I'll cast guidance on this one.
Alright.
And head on in.
You're like, oh wow, special boy. He gets the guidance. Wow. He's like, oh, shut up. No.
And then when someone approaches, just that tree is just like rocking back and forth violently.
Yeah. All right, everyone, leave Russell alone. Yeah.
What's the tree's name? Russell.
Inside there is like kind of loose furniture of like someone who probably was human at some point and lived here, but you're not sure why he still had some sort of sense of purpose to him.
Do I find any, or can I find any pictures or like books or something around here that seem to be more personalized?
We'll wait till next session to go through his
Okay.
shit, so I can actually lay out some shit. And, you know,
All right.
make his essence and see what that does. Adelaide, did you do anything with the essence, by the way? You can equip it. Like, it's just a free
I put
equip.
it like on the innermost pocket of my fancy jacket, so I have it equipped to my armor.
Okay, nice.
But I wasn't ever hit, so it wasn't
Yeah,
relevant.
you never need it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Wow,
I didn't know
and
you
Adelaide,
could,
you did great in that fight. You like playfully punched my shoulder, and then like the essence comes falling out of my pocket.
My essence.
Leaking essence.
Essence.
Oh, lordy lord.
I assumed you had to go to like a blacksmith to equip them, so that's interesting.
No, they're kind of just equipable on short rests, but you can't like interchange them during a day, or like just willy nilly.
Right, at will.
You have to be
All right, cool.
in rest.
Hell yeah.
Go ahead and leave that.
Well, his essence definitely has to be like a soul with like a lumber axe in it.
Yeah, I have to come up with like an ability for both armor and weapon. I'll probably just make
Can
like
cut
the
down
weapon.
any tree.
Yeah, I'll make it like maybe a weapon's able to do siege damage.
Ooh.
That'd be pretty neat.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Your armor's resistant to plants.
You just get a big hat.
Yeah, you just get a big hat.
Oh,
I'll take it.
the most powerful of essences.
And as soon as it leaves your body, it just reappears on top of your
Yeah,
head.
it cannot be removed.
A soulbound hat.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Ooh, get out of here, fly. I did kind of speak with Dida about this in passing, I suppose, last week. Every 5 or so sessions, we might like do an after stream short Q&A, just for anyone who might have questions throughout the series. But other than that, like maybe at the end of the 4th session, I'll announce that we'll have that at the end of the next one, and then people have time to
I'd be
leave a
heckin'
comment.
into that.
Yeah. Assuming we get to more than 5 sessions.
Assuming we're
Ideally.
Yeah.
If there's ever more
Hey,
than
I
one
just-
lumberjack, we're
Yeah.
Oh,
There
yeah.
are 2 lumberjacks.
Dude, 28
I mean-
damage. It's like, oh my god.
Right, like,
I got
it's
crit,
insane.
and then I got thrown across the field, the clearing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we still beat him. And I'm like looking okay thanks to my friends.
Mhm. Power of friendship.
I imagine, honestly, I feel like Comet should just have like a big catcher's mitt at all times.
You know, this is going to become a regular occurrence.
It's gonna keep
Yeah, I'm gonna be
catching
thrown around a lot. I'm a very small person. I'm feisty, but I'm tiny.
it. No,
I'm like-
because they didn't level up.
I'm like 5'6" or 5'4" or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Pitchable.
there are boss monsters, and then there are like mini boss like creatures. Ones like these are just kind of like mini world bosses that you can just beat up and get like a neat little thing from, while the big area bosses are the ones you get levels from.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is more just like
Definitely
an optional
Dark
encounter
Souls
if you
inspiration.
wanted to jump in and beat him up.
Well, since
Right.
we were curious bastards and we can't read signs.
Well, you read it, you just
I
interpreted
mean-
it wrong.
Mhm.
look, you're asking a pirate to keep out of private. I'm a pirate. I'm not gonna do that. That's
Yeah,
like an
absolutely.
invitation.
that was why
You
we
tell
came
me-
in here.
Yeah, you tell me keep out.
We
That's
would've
like,
left.
well, I guess I'm going in.
This wasn't like a deterrent. This was an invitation.
Yes. And now we have this cabin all to ourselves, so I feel like it was a win.
You do have a nice
Ultimately.
safe spot to rest, actually, so...
Also,
I
is
will
this?
say- Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh. I was gonna ask about the axe. Is this axe special in any way?
It is just a large axe, unwieldy. It would be like disadvantage, I think, to swing an axe or a weapon of a size category larger than you are.
I just kind of look at it and then I look at Comet. I'm like stroking my chin, like,
You could
I mean-
perhaps chisel it down to be wieldy, but you are still technically a medium.
If you want, I could carry it. I could like give it to
Get
the
that
blacksmith for
blacksmith
parts
tool.
or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Be a
the
cool
blacksmith
reward.
need tools? You should give him this
Mhm.
big axe.
I don't think
Alright,
it's a
I
bad
just-
blacksmith tool.
Put it in my pocket. I mean, in my
Yeah, you can
bag.
make do.
It could be a very, very bad hammer
Yeah.
or a bad swage
A lot of metal. The axe head's huge.
Mhm.
Yeah, we could just knock off the handle and just keep the head.
Hmm.
Hmm.
You
That
could
is a
also
good chunk of
reckless
metal.
attack to gain just a normal attack with it.
Just. a
I
regular
remember
attack.
doing that as a barbarian once. I just had like a huge, like I grabbed a.
I couldn't get sneak attack with it, but
skeleton
it could just be my
minotaur
big weapon.
Yeah, the guillotine.
The
We'll think
guillotine.
about it.
I mean, for now, I can just have it in my backpack, and then we could like
Hmm.
do what with it what we will later.
Yeah,
Real
We could
quick,
use
though,
it
I
for,
do
like,
need
a
to
weight
take off.
puzzle.
yeah.
So I'm peacing out. I will normally be around much longer to hang out afterwards.
Mhm.
But for right now, I'm very tired. So I'll see
Okay.
you all
Yeah,
later.
go to
Don't worry.
sleep.
Yeah. Good night.
All right, bye, guys.
Night.
Bye.
Bye.
If we're taking a short rest, then I'm going to use Arcane Recovery
Smart.
Hey.
to get back those chromatic orb spell slots.
Yeah, you go. Just you wait.
Did we long rest in the town?
Yeah, we did.
We did.
You did long rest in town.
Okay, yeah, then I will do the same and get back my mage armor slot.
Yeah.
Or I guess I use shield too, so I'm getting that back.
There we go. I did the one thing a paladin can do on a short rest.
Heal.
Get your hit dice.
Yeah. Hey, wait until next level, then I can do something real awesome.
Yo, lumberjack's axe.
That'll take up 2 slots. It's a large weapon.
Okay. I'll put that here too.
I still feel like with a bit of practice, Comet would be able to use it normally because of your powerful build stacks being counting as a size larger and all that.
It would be him, but for the sake of keeping things somewhat
Just turn Comet
balanced,
into a Beyblade.
yeah, keeping things somewhat remotely balanced.
Comet like lifts up the axe and then he just like there's like a glint in his eye and we all see his eye start to glow the same way that the lumberjack did. We're like, oh no.
Yeah,
The lumberjack
that's the cliffhanger.
spirit.
My hair starts waving.
You're like, must
Fat
chop
stuff
down
forming.
trees.
What did you do to my house?
We
It
just like
wasn't
fast
that
forward. All of us are unconscious on the ground, and he's like chopping down trees. He gets to the one tree, casts guidance on. He goes, "You can stay," and just like moves past.
There's one tree left in the forest.
It wasn't the blacksmith's house. It was the axe's house.
Yeah.
The lumberjack was just like a host for the axe.
It's the hat, man. It's all the hat. The hat floats up and grabs onto one of your heads.
God. The true villain of this campaign. The hat.
We've made so many villains at this point.
Because the magic scab hates me, and now the hat hates everyone.
I love the magic scab.
Alakastab.
Well, we'll probably close out stream here. Say a big
Alright.
TY for everyone showing up.
See you
Comment
later,
it's a big
everybody.
burger. Don't call out my plots rubbish, no. Also, thanks for subscribing, dude.
Hey. Nice.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, whoa.
All these other gamers should pull a pro gamer move and subscribe to this channel.
I don't think you get much until you get like the big lump sum. So like a loose 1 or 2 subscribers kind of just gets like washed away in like the numbers. At least I think I don't know how shit works. I don't know how money works, man.
Yeah, I don't.
Who does?
I have, guys. I have so little money. I washed all my clothes by hand in the bathtub today, so
Oh, no.
I don't know how money works. Don't ask me.
Cool.
Alright, well, we'll see you next week, and rip the homie, you know. It's just
Always, I'll never forget.
never forget.
Never forget.
We love him too much.
See you.
All right, good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
We love you.
Mm.